intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar over. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for 300 million, and I made 350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king. Okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar Beyonce Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.
Welcome back. Thursday show, 7 o'clock, and we back here with my man. It's me, Amadio, and
yes,
the champ himself, Nestor.
Yes, sir, man. Welcome back. It is another Thursday flagship edition. There's no fights to predict, so there's really no crow to eat unless, I don't know, we figure something very creative out. But at least we were able to gather some significant news. Wilder Fury back in the headlines for the second day. Not only is it pushed back, but now we have an official date set to take place October 3rd in Las Vegas. But the biggest and best rumor to kick around is it's said to be in the new Raiders Stadium. Now, that is something that Bob Arum told us, but now the rumors are heating up. Obviously, we have plenty to talk about with Juan Manuel Marquez and Ricky Hatton allegedly back in the media to possibly do a fight together. So that's something new for sure. And then we have Marquez-Andrade and Jermall Charlo back in the news as Andre says that Charlo and Ronnie Shields, they just don't want that fight. And last but not least, we'll be talking Berchelt and Valdez both staying ready as they continue to finalize their deal. Plus, we got another bunch of news and notes to talk to you in the breaking news section. So, yeah, this is what we're talking about this fine Thursday, March 26th. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time here in New York City, tri-state area. 6 a.m. West Coast, California, Las Vegas. And no, I said 6 a.m. by mistake. I meant to say 4 o'clock West Coast, and I mean 6 p.m. for all you Central folk. Let me head on out to my co-host and get this thing started, man.
I'm the most brutal, most vicious, and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up, son of a bitch.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Now I'm very excited, I guess, because we got a finalized date. I'm assuming that's October 3rd. We was talking about the fall, but it's not about the coronavirus. Then what is it about? But before we get started, my man Marioski.
It's me, Mario.
What is up? What is up, fellas? Yo, listen, for real, like, I know it's going to probably sound super corny, but we should just do like a show marathon, because I swear every time the morning show ends and we come back at night, like, bad stuff just happens in the news. I figure if we just stay on the line like the whole time, like, nothing will happen, right? I mean, that's my logic at least for it. But yeah, we got Joshua. Wilder Fury 3, looking like October. I saw the report from Mike Coppinger. That's who I'm giving full credit to because I saw it in The Athletic. And he had a lot of tidbits in there. You know, the Raiders thing is huge, but he talked about the fact that this wasn't coronavirus related. But Ness had pointed out a few weeks, not even like last week, I think, that Arum always wanted it in the fall. That was his hope all along, and that the summer date just kind of appeared in a way that really didn't make a lot of sense to anyone. So here we go. We got it, and we can chop it up along with the rest of the news and notes, which there are quite a few. You'd be surprised with the level of boxing and really the world in general.
Well, first and foremost, let's just remind everyone that we do have Richardson Hitchens coming on. I mean, we talk about cool names, man. We had Montana Love the other day. Montana, Tony Montana, Scarface, Love. Obviously, great name. Richardson, all right, pretty common, but his name is literally spelled Hitchens. That's dope, right? Like Richardson.
That's super dope.
Chins. I mean, insane. So we're going to have him on TMT. Promoted fighter Floyd Mayweather signed, but living, training in New York City, out of that Saddam Ali gym, but trained by Lenny Wilson. He's no longer with Andre Rozier. I mean, leave it to him. He says he's always been with Lenny. But obviously when I was covering him, he was in the Sosa Crew gym, who I scheduled. I forgot who asked me. Somebody asked me for Aliano Sosa. He's all booked. He'll be on Monday morning. Speaking of interviews, who else is on the docket for today?
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez, unified champion. Shout out to Dr. Juan Bautista that came on earlier today on our morning episode just to educate us. And shout out to Ronald Ellis, lead sparring partner for Canelo Alvarez. And he's going to be on the show at 8 o'clock. Rev Run, really interested to get that story behind that name, right? Because the only Rev Run I know is like Run DMC, right? Reverend Run. Like, what's he doing trying to take his name? I don't get it. But yeah, man, a lot to talk about, man. The first topic, I guess we should jump right into it, is Wilder Fury. I'm really excited for the thought, the possibility of a stadium fight for this. It might make it more accessible for us because let's be real. Wilder Fury 2 happened and ticket prices were out of this world. They were not, that fight wasn't for us. It wasn't for us, you know what I mean? And I get it. Okay, cool. It was my Jinbe. I got you, baby. I'm telling you, if you a Patreon, if you ask, I will try. And Ito, I ain't forget you. I know you want that on demand, so I think we just gonna have to switch, champ. If you could just give us a new topic. I mean, I think we already did all the floppy gloves we could do, but he did pay for it on demand. He's not done with the floppy gloves, so we might have to do the best we can. I did send you the notes to that. But yeah, man, Wilder Fury, October 3rd. Look, I'm not a big winter guy. I can't tell you off the bat how cold it is in October. November wasn't bad when we had our appreciation night in 2016. You know, I don't remember freezing. But the possibility of the stadium fight, we were left out. These ticket prices were way too high the first time around. And by the first time, obviously, I mean the rematch, not the first one. But I don't know. This being in a stadium, I'm excited. I mean, could we possibly be there? How many seats is this thing said to hold, this new Raiders stadium? Does anyone know?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, but yeah, I think that there's a lot that can be said as far as like the belief in this fight and what it means. A lot of people were so down.
Hello.
People saying that Wilder shouldn't have taken the trilogy. Nobody wants to see it, but this is just not true. This is a big time heavyweight fight. I'm just not sure that. And actually, the producer says 65,000 seats it holds capacity. So that's a really good number for this fight.
That is a good number.
I think they could do it. I really do.
I like that number. 65 sounds doable.
I mean, that's a good Dallas stadium holds a little bit more than that, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, I think they could get to 100.
Like 100,000.
65 still good. You mentioned the weather, and I was interested in that because weather has a lot to do too, man, with fighting. It is a little colder around that time. I don't know if that suits Wilder or Fury more, but definitely gonna be a little colder. I wonder how the boxing schedule is going to look like also because obviously with this coronavirus, a lot of dates are going to be pushed forward. So I wonder if any fights are going to be kind of stepping over each other for that date.
Well, I doubt they're going to, have any competition on that date. You know what I mean? That's a big dog showing. I doubt anybody's going to want to, counter.
Well, on the other side of that, I wonder if we're going to get like a super stacked undercard because of all these fighters that are going to need fights. If they're going to be ready to go by October, then that means that everyone's ready to go by October. And we could be in a really good treat. And actually, one of our topics for the show later is Steven Espinosa and some of the things that he said that allude to the fact that they're already, I think, talking about certain fighters getting certain dates because look, if you're going to fight in 2020, which you have to, if you're a star or, if boxing is your, is what you make the money doing, like you have to want to get a fight in. And there's just so many dates, between whenever this starts and the end of the year, fighters might be left with 2 or 3 months, before it's all said and done to get something in. So we could be in store for like a mega pay-per-view with like something super dope on the undercard.
I mean, optimistically speaking, yeah, it kind of points in that direction because of all the postponements. There's going to be an overwhelming abundance of inactive fighters that need to shake off the rust. But this is a premier event, a prestigious event, something that's going to be historical. I doubt they're just going to pick anyone. I hope they did do slightly better. Martin, Washington was good, but I think that they having the time to prepare, they should be able to prepare properly and get the right fights that the people want and are willing to pay for. You know what I mean?
Anybody get any whiff of what's going to be the undercard or what's the undercard going to be looking like for this fight?
Way too soon, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything at all yet, but I think it's way too soon.
I'll tell you what, though, to capitalize like an all heavyweight undercard would be really dope. I mean, if they could get at least one name on there, the rest of them could be, F.A. Ajabe types just to get them all on there. That would be something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Top Rank has a lot of heavyweights, but this is going to be, and that's something that we need to say, this is going to be a PBC on Fox and ESPN Plus pay-per-view again. So even though Fury won the fight, the promotion hasn't switched, just A-side and percentages.
It's now going to be 60 Fury, 40 Wilder.
That's the first cut right there? That's 60-40?
Yep.
Based on the contracts, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Man.
Why you say wow? What do you feel about that?
Nah, I'm just saying, obviously there was a rematch clause in this one too, right? For the second fight.
Yep.
But how is it that
spit it out? What bothers you?
How all the chips fell on Fury's side?
It fell on the winner. It fell on the winner. And I'm glad that it bothered you because let that be a lesson. I hope that isn't too harsh, but like that contract was obviously negotiated based off confidence. Because AJ does not give you 60-40 if you beat him. That's not what Ruiz got. That's what Fury got because Wilder okayed those negotiations, or proposed them. That's all you can hypothetically assume is that A, Top Rank said, hey, if we win, can we get 60-40? Or B, they said okay to that or said the same thing. Winner gets 60-40, thinking that they would win. But remember, AJ don't do that shit. That's why Dillian White didn't take the fight. That's why Deontay ain't take the fight. When AJ tried to fight Dillian, he wanted 60-40 and then 60-40 again if he lost. You know what I mean? Which he got it because Dillian said no. Big Baby failed, so he got his deal with Andy, and that's why he got 2 fights with Andy.
What was the slice for Andy on that fight? Just a comparison.
Bro, it wasn't 40% because Andy wasn't no Parker. Parker was a world champion and got like 33.7.
Guess AJ's side of the fence is more savage than the business side, huh? I mean,
Listen,
that's how fights are avoided too, though. You know, when you kind of making the other guy feel like they undercut.
Exactly. And that could be the reason that Wilder said, nah, fuck it, we do it like that. Winner takes 60-40. You know, obviously still with confidence in mind, but also trying to be fair to the opponent. And now tables turn, like Earl Spence said. Tables turn now, and he's at the 40% end of it. But, bro, man, when you're talking that many millions, I know to me it sounds like it ain't a big deal, 60-40, because we're talking millions and millions of dollars, and I don't have millions or a million, so... You know, to me, I don't see the big deal, but honestly, it's like, what's the difference, right? He made $25 million plus pay-per-view upside on the last one. Like, does it even matter what he makes for this one? Whatever he makes is going straight to the bank. Like, he might not even get to spend this unless he lives frivolously. You know what I mean?
Yo, he's not even spending. Listen, I would highly doubt he's spending any of the money so far. I mean, maybe the first fight, sure, but I mean, this is just like
he does have expensive taste, though. He does have expensive taste. I mean, his Lamborghini's made out of like fucking crocodile skin. You know, he's got all these things, so he could spend it, but I don't think. If you're not living crazy, you will not spend it, is what I'm saying. Especially when you allegedly got, let's say, 20 for Brazil. You know, whatever. Ortiz got 7 when he fought him. So what did Wilder get? You know what I mean? It's a lot of millions that are already cuffed up in the bank. So whatever he gets for this one, it's there's no way you lose this money. Like, you know, like it doesn't matter what he's making because it's so many millions. It's just more zeros in the bank.
Well, what people are going to say is an indication of A side, B side, because that's usually what it is. An indication of this side. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that they're going to take it there to what matters, but that does not matter, and it really never matters. What matters is like you treat a fighter like a stock, and he has so many big money fights ahead of him that regardless of what the split is, regardless of what he makes in percentage or what he makes compared to the other fights, it doesn't matter because the stock is still high. The same thing with Fury, the same thing with Joshua, the same thing with all these guys. You know, they're commodities in this sport. They are at the top of the food chain, and not just in the heavyweight division and not just in boxing, but in sports in general. These 3 men have been elevated to a status that, you know, few dream of, and it's the prestige of the heavyweight it's the prestige of heavyweight boxing, but it's also the prestige of just what the heavyweight division is capable of. You know, they can be train wreck fights at any moment. You know, things change in heavyweight fights like in no other division. So, you know, being a fighter in that division, your stock's on the rise no matter what. Being at the top of the food chain in those divisions, it doesn't matter. You're making millions for as long as you want to fight.
Definitely, man. I'm excited, man. If it can land in a stadium, I'm not going to hold my breath, though. Like, you know, we beg for stadium fights in America that we rarely get them. So, again, I'm not going to hold my breath. It's such a high-level fight. The tickets did so well the second time around that I doubt they'll give us a stadium fight just so they could capitalize on the, you know, highest gate and rake in as much money as they can. But if they can think of the fans, this will be how to do that.
Here's the thing. If you're thinking of the fans, then you're thinking, you know, money's going to be a little tight at that point for a lot of people still. So a stadium fight, you know, helps with, you know, the different prices and perhaps you're right. Perhaps I'm being a little too optimistic, but with everything the way that it's going, I mean, I can't help but like force my mind into the most positive outcomes that I can think of just because everything else is relatively unknown.
I just feel
But
optimism is needed, but I feel like never was there a time where boxing fans band together more than Mayweather-Pacquiao, and we didn't get a stadium fight for that. So again, I won't be, waiting around for a response on whether or not this fight takes place in a stadium standing up. I'll definitely be sitting down.
Sure. So, one of the things in the story was that the fight wasn't moved because of coronavirus, and you had said that they had always wanted the fall fight. So do you believe that coronavirus played zero part in this?
No, I believe it did play a part, whether that is only the part of being the scapegoat, but it definitely played a part. Now, did they want October? Hell yeah, because Bob told us on this show, he would love to do it in the fall, and you got to go back and listen to that episode to find out exactly why, because I know I asked him, but that's what he wanted, and look, that's probably what he got. They probably were able to convince too, like, yo, it was a tough fight. You need a little bit of time, get everything in order. I talked to Wilder yesterday. His trip to Africa obviously was canceled, so that didn't even happen. He had this whole 1 month vacation plan that now with coronavirus doesn't happen. So everything is just pushed back. Everything is just pushed back. To assume that it didn't play a role is just ridiculous. But I get Coppinger or whoever wants to put that narrative out there. Not that Coppinger is more like what's up?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying.
Froze there for a second. That was probably me. No. Listen, I'm probably going to get heat for this because people say this enough already. But if you want to know how I feel, just rewind back everything Ness just said. You're absolutely right. I think this was used as a scapegoat. I think, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying that Bob's using coronavirus, nothing like that. The truth is it made more sense before they put that date in place, and it makes even more sense afterwards. So there's no bad guy in the situation, other than Corona, and even that is, might not have had as much to do with it as we initially thought, but it certainly had to have played some sort of part.
Definitely agree, man. Again,
still have to consider when all this stuff is going to be done and out,
Oh man,
did I cut off?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know what that is. Let me restart the Skype, I guess. But it's holding up pretty good on my end. I'm not having the issue from earlier, but like I said, the solution is on its way. And we will continue to rock out. Blog Talk is open. Don't forget, you can call up 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Troy, you can always press 1. You're still a boomerang, courtesy of Jemmy and Delaware, champ. You haven't been pressing 1 the last couple of days. When it is time to talk anyway. We're going to be having Richardson Hitchens on the show in about 5 minutes. And if everything goes right, we'll have unified champion Jose Ramirez on the program as well. And if everything goes right, we're going to have good old Ronald Ellis on the program as well. He is Canelo Alvarez's lead sparring partner. But really quick, shout out to Marlon So Icy. Marlon, what's going on, champ? Pro boxer Marlon So Icy Sims rocking out with us. We got Mr. 704 in the chat. King Nello, what it do? Obviously, Doomy's one of us. PG Darrow, what up? Israel in Oklahoma. Casual Bass Guy, what it do? Steven, what up? And Andre Diakono, New Jersey. What up, Dre? You on that lockdown with me, baby. Brandon White, what up? What up? So, it looks like Mario's back. Hopefully, we get a better connection. Couple of minutes before Richardson Hitchens. I say we transition to the second topic. It looks like at least Mr. 704 seems slightly interested in a possible Ricky-Hatton Juan Marquez fight. Is this going to be anything like the Chavez-Jorge Arce, where it's just an exhibition with sparring gear? Because aren't these guys old? And man, does Ricky look like he's not in shape when he was in Tyson's corner. So is this even real?
So I saw this reported on like a rumor Twitter account like Tuesday maybe, and then it picked up a little more steam and people started talking about it a little more. I don't know how true these rumors are, but they're crazy. They're crazy.
Well, it's an old fight that was supposed to happen when you know, these guys were with Golden Boy. It never happened.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. This was supposed to happen originally, did not happen, and now they're saying that next summer, not this summer, but next summer in the UK is where they want to host this fight. And you know, the whole thing to me is like, this is either a giant rumor that got out of hand or this is a complete cash grab. You know, it's one of those things. And I don't know the financial statuses of either man.
Cash grab, absolutely.
Man,
cash
you definitely
grab.
got a nice. You guys got a nice picture of Ricky up there, but last time I checked, Ricky was not looking like that.
Exactly. That's what I said. He was pretty healthy in the Tyson Fury fight when Ben Davison was in the corner.
You're being very nice. Healthy? He was fat, chunky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I don't know. Marquez stays in shape, but
listen,
he into yoga and all that.
Do me, professional fighter, right? Professional fighter, highest level, and we're talking about a projected hypothetical, because this is a rumor mill story.
Yeah.
So a rumor date of next year. You don't think Fury could get with Ben Davison, the king of losing weight, and get ready and right for next year for Marquez?
You mean Hatton? Yeah, nah. If you got a year, the man's a legend. You know what I'm saying? In his own right, he can get down if he wanted to. It's just that, you know, as you age, it gets a little harder. But what fight? He ain't never making 147 again, bro. It's just not happening.
Yo, this would have to be like at 194 or something for them to fight.
Nah,
because
no way, bro. There's no way. They gotta do 147. They can't do nothing else.
No.
What's the height on Hatton? They can't do 54. Listen, it will. If they do anything higher than 47, it's gonna look exactly the way that the Jorge Arce and Chavez fight was. It's gonna be an exhibition with shirts on and everything.
No, maybe. Yeah, I could see it like that. But here's the thing. In either way, like, this would be ridiculous. First of all, Juan Manuel Marquez destroys him for two simple reasons. One, he has this master craft that really doesn't age. Yes, he would be slower. Yes, he would have, you know, his motor skills would be far worse than they were. But just the approach in the ring, I can't see, Hatton beating him, period. You know, if this fight happened in both their primes, that's a little different. But right now, I don't know. Nothing would lead me to believe that. I would just assume that both of them would come in horrendous shape. Like, that was just, I feel like they would be like willing to go like 4 rounds solid.
Nah,
Ricky's
Marquez,
5'7".
no way. Marquez got a job on ESPN Deportes. He's always on TV on the Spanish side for ESPN. Then he does a lot of commentating for the bigger events on the Spanish side as well. He's in shape. He's not doing 4 rounds. He'll take this seriously. If anything, Hatton getting stopped inside of 6 rounds, in my opinion.
You know, and Ricky's 5'7". Manuel is 5'7", so it's an even matchup as far as the the height. But athleticism, man, and in shape. I'm gonna go with Marquez on this one as well, man. He's just he does his yoga, he stays in shape, like you say. He's up on the broadcast, so he's trying to look
Can't
good.
forget him drinking his own piss to stay in shape too, man. That's something we can't let anyone forget.
Bro,
that.
I
that
don't
was
know.
a special moment in TV history.
I have no idea what.
I remember that was on The Soup. Y'all remember that show, The Soup? It was kind of like Tosh.0 before.
Wait,
Tosh.
you don't remember that,
Yeah,
Doomy?
Tosh.0. I don't remember him saying that, but now that you bring it up, like, my mind is clicking. Like, damn, this guy did really drink his own piss.
Nah, he
I don't know what
definitely
that
did.
What we're that's an untitled.
He said that it replenished nutrients that were lost through the process of urination. But later it came out that not only does it not replace them because they're already discarded, the body doesn't treat them the same, but actually there are toxins in some of the some of the nutrients can, like, not grow, but they get attached to them.
No,
it's actually bad for you.
It's waste coming out of the body.
Yeah, it's really not good. It's okay if you do it like, to stay alive in the desert, like, a few times or a couple days, but to continuously drink your own urine is actually really damaging.
Holy smokes.
In case anybody out there wanted to know, was considering it in these times, don't do it.
Is there any possibility they might have been joking? My man 704 said it might have been Diet Mountain Dew.
I mean, look, if they did it for TV,
Diet Mountain Dew.
Exactly. If they did it for TV, then he got that off. But it definitely looked like some piss, man. But I put in a text to our first guest. He should be jumping on. I think that's him. Let me just double check the number here.
Oh shoot, let me get on the numbers, Ness.
Yes, sir. Looks like we got our first guest, Richardson Hitchens, on. What's going on, Richardson? First and foremost, man, thank you for taking out the time to come back on the program during this kind of unsafe time, but off time for boxers, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just going through it and getting through it.
Now, why are you going through it, you think? You did at least get to fight February 28th, so you got one out the way where a lot of people don't know if they're going to get to fight this year.
Yeah, I know. I was blessed with that, but I mean, we had big things. We had big things in store for this year, and I mean, as y'all know that. A lot of my fights in the past been pushed back, or I couldn't fight a lot of times because opponents
close that door. Close that door. You're killing us.
Hold up. My fault. I said, as y'all know, like a lot of my fights in the past have been opponents fell out and all type of stuff. So things like that. It kind of hold our careers back. So this is just one of the other things that I feel like is gonna hold our career back. But I mean, we just gotta get through it.
So you're not optimistic in terms of when you'll be able to get back in the ring. It sounds like you don't think you'll get in there the rest of this year.
Nah, I'm hoping I can get in. I can get in by June. It's not June, August, but I mean, this is bigger than boxing. There's not nothing like that has to do with business or promotional issue. This is like something that's going on in the world. So it's bigger than the sport. So I can't even tell you like when I feel like I'm gonna get back in the ring. I'm just hoping that my loved ones stay safe, I stay safe, and we all get through this.
So are you even going to the gym, or are you staying away from the gym? I mean, because I know your gym is private, so maybe you still get to use it, or has it been shut down?
The owner of the gym, he's scared, and he don't want nobody in the gym. So we haven't been in the gym, but I've been working out at home. And I've been running. I'm about to go running in probably an hour or two. So I still been staying active because I don't want to get too big. So yeah, I'm staying active.
Richard, how you doing? It's Alex from the Boxing Boy. How's it going, man? I know with this coronavirus and everything that's been going on, how has this affected you and your community and where you stay
at? I mean, I feel like New York. They said New York got one of the biggest cases in the world. So, I mean, it's affecting New York big because a lot of people can't make money right now, and a lot of people can't maneuver how they want to maneuver. So, I mean, as of me, it's not affecting me right now as of yet because I just fought like 3-4 weeks ago. So, I'm still kind of getting back into things. But I mean, hopefully it don't go on for too much longer because another 2 months, 3-4 months, I'm gonna be itching to get back in the ring and fight. Yeah, I'm even the spar. Fighters can't even spar right now, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to ask you that. We had Jessica McCaskill here yesterday, and she still is continuing sparring, and how's the outlook in your camp and the people that you train with and your trainer and starting sparring or anything like that? Is there anybody reluctant to sparring or they're willing? What's the attitude towards that?
Everybody, as far as I know, everybody's just been kind of in a house or away, just getting workouts and like probably like at home if they got like a bag in their garage or whatever. But I haven't seen no fighters sparring or anything going on in the New York area. Because the moment I see it, I'm definitely hopping on it and trying to get some working. But right now, I ain't been seeing nothing lately.
Hey, Richardson, it's Mario Mugia. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Real quick, I want to clarify something. How many fights were you planning on having this year? If before all this stuff happened?
I was definitely planning on having 4 fights this year. I wanted to end off the year with 4 fights. So I got one in right in the beginning of the year. I was hoping to come back on Gervonta Davis undercard in June in LA. I was hoping for that, but that's looking like it's gonna get pushed back, and then probably one more in probably like September, October, then finish another one up in the end of the year. If everything was, God willing, everything was to go as planned. But if not, three would have been good. But if I was supposed to get 3 fights in this year, my last fight would have definitely been a 12-rounder. So I would never.
Nice.
I'm not a 4-time. Yeah.
Man, I love that plan. I really do. This is unfortunate, but I know you'll get back on track. Let me ask you a question. Obviously, I know you're signed to Mayweather Promotions, but for those that don't know, you were signed with Mayweather Promotions. You're 22 years old, so in my mind, you came along right when that TMT started popping and it became a thing. Yeah, I'm a little older, so I grew up before that stuff, but then, it came along. So with all that and how it integrated into pop culture and 50 Cent, all that, what did it mean to sign with Mayweather, coming out into the pros?
I mean, it was big. That was big for me. It was big for everybody around me because, I mean, especially for me, I looked up to Floyd coming up. Like, that's somebody I look up to this day. Like, everybody around me, if you know me, you know I love Floyd. I love just what he did as somebody just coming up from nothing and just building an empire. He just showed that hard work, dedication, and having just pushing your talent to the max, and that's what he did. And it was something big for me to sign with him, just to be in his presence and just get advice from him daily, hang around him, see how he lives, and just listen to him. Because when Floyd talk, you just try to soak in everything he say all the game. So it was something big for me.
So, Richardson, obviously Floyd gets a bad rap as not a good promoter, and, usually I'm on the end of that, but when it comes to you, I feel like he's done a good job with you. I feel like a lot of your fights have been on TV. I feel like you've been able to fight across, America, both in the East and the West Coast, and you just don't fall under that cliche. Like, you're getting fights. Do you feel that your career is going at the right pace? Do you feel, obviously, that you're being pushed correctly?
I think I'm getting pushed correctly. I think I am getting pushed correctly. I think, like everything you said, I think everything is going how I would want it to be. I think that I would be further in my career actually right now if a lot of the fights didn't fall out. I was supposed to be way further in my career. I probably would have been an interim champion or have a belt by now, but a lot of my fights fell out in the past. So for that to happen and still be like you said, fighting on TV and still getting pushed right, it's great. I think that has to do a lot with Leonard believing in me. He believes in me a lot. Floyd never really seen me fight till my last fight. Not my last fight. The first fight when I fought Kevin Johnson. And I mean, he was really into that fight because Kevin Johnson was coming from Floyd's gym. Floyd knew Kevin personally from the gym, and for Floyd to see me outbox him and get, it was kind of he sees the level I was on, and me and Floyd had a personal private conversation in private, and he just was telling me that he felt like I'm really gifted, and he know for sure I'll be world champion in the near future. There's no doubt in his mind. He was just like really, really impressed. So hearing that from somebody I looked up to, it was great. And I think that fight right there probably makes my promoters want to push me even more and just stay. It's up to me as a fighter. Just like, oh, you got this is the main thing Floyd told me from day one. He told me, no matter what you do, make sure you win. He said, I don't care what you do. If you're knocking the guys out, whatever. He said, just make sure you win, and that's what I've been doing so far. So once I keep winning, sky's the limit.
And Alex, again, Richard, just looking at how active you've been, it's going back to what Ness said. You don't fall into the cliche of not being pushed, and in the Mayweather promotions. But I see you've been very active. You had 4 fights in 2019. Before that, 3 fights in 2018. So it's been a very, very busy year by year for you. How many other fights were you looking to get to besides the one that just passed 4 weeks ago? How many times were you looking to get into the ring again for this year? I know coronavirus, put a jam on all that stuff, but what were you looking forward to this year?
I was looking at 3 more fights after this last one I had a few weeks ago. I was looking for 3 more fights, and if it wasn't going to be 3 more fights, if it was 2 more fights, I was looking to definitely be in a 12-round fight, which would have been, a huge step up with probably a former world champion or upcoming contender that's undefeated. It would have been a big step up, but definitely I think it was going to be time for me to take that leap, take that jump. So, if not, with the coronavirus and all that going on, just to go back to the drawing board when everything is over with and see what's the next best move for me, because like you guys, I'm still young.
Cut out a little bit, Ness.
Or I could take my time and just make the right move. So whatever my team want to do and whatever I feel like I'm ready for at the time, I'm gonna do.
Richardson, what's your training situation? Who are you trained by? Because you were trained by Rozier, weren't you? But not anymore?
Lenny Wilson.
No.
Lenny Wilson. That's
I'm
who
sure about.
that's who you said earlier.
Yeah, I'm trained by Lenny Wilson. Rozier, he helps out with me in the gym, but I'm trained by Lenny Wilson.
And actually, he's repeating something I said, but I made a mistake. I meant to say Sosa. Weren't you with Sosa at one point and switched to Lenny, or were you always with Lenny and just trained in that gym with Sosa?
No, I grew up. Sosa breeding me. That's who I came up with and everything. I came up with Sosa, and Lenny was always working with us too. It was Sosa and Lenny always training me, but I parted ways with Sosa and just me and Lenny just started training.
Cool. No story behind that, right? Just cuz or what?
I just felt like Sosa he had a lot going on with a lot of fighting. It was too much going on with too many fighters in the gym. Too much to deal with at the time. It was me, Big Baby, B-Hop, Lennox Allen. The list goes on and on. Amateur fighters, Bruce Carrington, Rashad Martin, Nikita. I feel like I've never seen it in boxing history where a trainer has all these top guys in one gym and is you just getting the job done by yourself. So I felt like it was hard. It was too much. It was too much for him to handle, and I felt like I wasn't progressing like that because I couldn't get the attention I needed as a fighter. Whereas if I don't know if you ever been to the gym I train at now, Saddam Gym, is a small gym.
Yeah.
Is a lot.
But that gym's starting to get crowded too. You got Derevyanchenko comes in and out of there. Now Belenga's training in there. Comey's in there. I don't know if Jacobs is back in there, but Saddam, whenever he works, there's a lot of names in that little gym too.
Nah, it is a lot of names. It is a lot of names in that gym, and it started being like that. And the crazy thing that you said that, like a lot of fighters started coming to the gym. Once I started training there, a lot of fighters were starting to come there. Like Frank Gallarza was training with us at a point. Peter Dobson now training with us. It's just like with my strength and conditioning trainer. Nobody knew who my strength and conditioning trainer was at all before. I was the first guy to ever go to him. And once I started going to him, Chris Chocolate started going to him, Christopher Colbert, Peter Dobson, all these guys. So I don't know if I was starting to train or what, but as soon as I decided to go there a couple months after, a lot of guys started coming over there. But the difference with that gym, we all don't train. It'll be times like Derevyanchenko don't train at our gym during the week. He'll come in the weekends on sparring days. On sparring days, our gym will be packed. But on a regular training day, our gym wouldn't be that packed. And me and Lenny, I train when I'm getting ready for a fight. I get my own time, so I don't come in with everybody's in the gym. I train late at night, and nobody. It's just me and Lenny in the gym, or somebody else. Me, Lenny, and my cousin Timmy. So it's just three of us in the gym. So, but on sparring days, when I come back to the gym the next day for sparring, the gym be packed. So that benefits me a lot because there's a lot of guys in the gym on sparring days. But as far as training days, I'm getting my own time. So that helped me out a lot. It helped me improve a lot.
Yo, it's funny. Lenny hit me up the other day, bruh. Tight as hell at Edgar. Did he call you?
What? Nah. Why he was mad at Edgar?
For that Instagram post. I thought, Lenny got mad at me, Richard. I'm like, yo, it's funny though. It's like, cause yo, Edgar know what he doing, man. He a little popular kid, let me tell you. And that thing was funny, but I get it. Saddam Ali's father, it's Saddam Ali's father's gym, and obviously they Muslim, so that didn't look right. But Lenny was hot. And I'm like, yo, chill, champ. I got Richardson coming on the show this week. He like, man, when you gonna get me on the show? I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm gonna schedule you real soon.
Nah, I mean, like I said, like the like the people in different culture, they look at things different. But right now, not talking what's going on in our culture, I think that was dope. I thought it was dope. I didn't think of that idea. Yeah, I'm mad I didn't think of that idea before him. Bruh. Doing that in the gym, I'm like, oh. Oh, you was there? He got a big name. No, I wasn't even there. Oh. I wasn't even there. So that joint was crazy. I think it was dope. And Edgar, like you said, he's popular in the Spanish world, the Latin world. Even like when I go out with him, like when we go out in parties and stuff, a lot of the Spanish like females and promoters and DJs, they love him, and I think that's dope. He's an upcoming fighter like myself, and I think he's a promising talent. So it's dope that he's promoting himself like that. I think it was. I don't see no problem with it, but I don't know. Everybody got a different point of view of things.
Yeah, definitely, man. It obviously is because it was a girl, man, and she's like in the thong. But the way they shot it was amazing. Like you really didn't know. I thought my man was hitting the uppercut bag. Then all of a sudden the camera backs out, and it's this beautiful video vixen booty upside down. I'm like, oh shit, bro, that was hilarious to me, man. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I never seen that like that. It was dope.
Nah, you're right. I ain't seen nothing like that either. But listen, I got a few questions from the people before we let you go real quick, about 12 of them. We're going to go to Intrigue the Incredible in Atlanta, who says, who do you favor to win in a healthy Keith Thurman fight versus Terrence Crawford?
Terrence Crawford. That's easy work.
Yeah, why you playing my boy Thurman out?
Easy work.
Yo,
nah.
Time?
I like Thurman. Thurman was actually one of my favorite fighters at some point. So he started getting. He's too inactive right now. One, he hasn't been active. Crawford is active. He's always in the gym. I don't know what Thurman's doing in his personal life, but it looks like he's traveling with his wife and taking off at times. But Crawford is always in the gym. He's in the gym right now with this coronavirus going on. He's super active, and he's been active in the ring. So, and I feel like Thurman had a hard time with an old age Pacquiao, and I don't think Pacquiao could deal with a Terrence Crawford not in this day and age. So I think if he get in the ring with Crawford, it'd be a whole different ball game. But I mean, my thing with Terrence, I love Terrence and I love his resume, but I ain't never seen him in the ring with somebody like Terrence. I mean, like Thurman. Like I think that Thurman, he probably poses a different threat. So that probably leave a question mark, but I think it'll be easy work for Terrence.
Bruh, I'm so happy, right? Because we got a big Bud fan base here, so they're going to be happy with what you said, but I'm glad that you're educated enough to say he ain't never been in there with somebody like Thurman, so there is a question mark. So thank you at least for teaching these guys, how to look at boxing. We got another one from George Foster in the UK who says, just how good is Tyson Fury and how great of a challenge does Deontay Wilder have to overcome in the trilogy?
I just think right now it's just I can't. Wilder he's got to just try to. He's not that skilled. That's the only thing. We know Deontay ain't the best boxer. He ain't the best boxer. So he is good at setting up that big punch. But I just think that Fury, how good is he? I just think he on a whole different level right now with with all the heavyweights. He on a whole different level. He just little subtle things he does technically. I love it. I study Fury I started studying Fury just watching him, and that last performance he put on was a masterclass. He reminded me like of a heavyweight Andre Ward, just the way he was muscling him, like he made Wilder real uncomfortable, and that was like that's something that I could see Andre Ward doing to a bigger guy, and I don't know, I don't think Wilder could beat him right now.
So real quick, just relating to that, I know it's a conspiracy theory and it's been going around a lot, going viral, petitions going out.
Hold on, champ. That question that he's about to say is from Prince of Power that says, "What up, champ? How did Tyson Fury glove look to you?"
Exactly.
It looked fine to me. I don't know. It looked fine to me, and I don't. If he a pillow puncher like how Wilder said he is, I don't think them gloves made a big difference because he said he was a pillow puncher. So you can't say the gloves. They can't say the gloves was a big issue because that night it looked like he was going to win regardless whether he had big 20-ounce gloves on or whatever happened with his gloves because he was just a better man that night.
Yo, stop asking them Wilder questions now. Brandon Maurice in Cincinnati. When you're looking at your peers such as Teofimo, Shakur, Devin, and Ryan, do you feel your career is on a slow pace compared to theirs?
Yeah, I definitely feel like my career is on a slow pace compared to Teofimo's. Of course, that's obvious, and I think that it has to do with everybody's different. Everybody's in different situations. Like Ryan right now, he's with Golden Boy, and I don't feel like Golden Boy really have too many superstars. On their side. They got Virgil, they got Ryan, and I can't name all the other guys. And with Mayweather Promotions, I'm basically with Al, so it's hard for me to just be a co-main event of a big, a big Canelo card. They won't put me over. With Virgil Ortiz, they could put him on a Canelo and Danny Jacob co-main event with barely any fights. But if I try to do that, they ain't gonna do that for me because you got Erickson Lubin here that they could put on the undercard. Or you got Badu Jack, and you got all these other fighters. So I just think my situation is different. Same thing with what's his name, Top Rank. I think Top Rank favors Teofimo, and they love Teofimo. So I think that opens more opportunities for him. So everybody's in different situations.
I mean, man, I wish I had time, because speaking of Top Rank loving people, man, I wish I could do that. Look, Jemmy in Delaware, do you think Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz is a pay-per-view worthy, and do you think that fight will be at 135?
I don't know. I gotta ask y'all this question because honestly, is Santa Cruz this good? Because 1 minute, like when I talk to one of my friends, they say Santa Cruz is too small and he's not that good. He's easy work. When I talk to somebody else, like Lenny on my trainer, they say Santa Cruz is a big threat. When I talk to even Adrian, when I spoke to Adrian Broner, he said that Santa Cruz is a big threat. Tank gonna have to do a real long camp for Santa Cruz.
The threat is gonna be that Santa Cruz ain't gonna stop throwing punches. Is gonna be traditional Mexican, and I don't mean traditional Mexican style. Because obviously Santa Cruz showed that he could box when he rematched Frampton, but. Yeah, Tank
and the threat that Tank him coming in shape.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
That's
Tank,
the big thing about
Tank's Tank. Is his Tank gonna stick up with a Mexican that ain't gonna be afraid? Because listen, Leo gonna go out on his shit. It don't matter if Tank punch hard or not. Leo gonna get punched in the face in front of his fans.
Skill for skill, Tank is the man, and he shouldn't have problems with him.
I think that power gonna be the equalizer. He's gonna be able to.
I'm picking Tank.
Slow him up.
If they bring in Leo up to 135, I'm picking Tank. If Tank going back down to 130, I'm still picking him. But we got to see how he gonna make weight because he be missing weight at 130.
Okay, so all right, if 60-40. Is it a 60-40 fight, a 30-70, a 50-50?
Damn, you want percentages, man. I don't know. People take that offensive.
In Tank's favor.
I was going 70-30 on
that
that one.
70-30 works for me.
Yeah, I just know Tank is the
70-30?
favorite. I know Tank the favorite. That's how I label it.
Because when me and Tank was bowling probably like 2 weeks ago. We was bowling, and I'm like, one of our friends asked like, "Yo, what Tank next fight is it gonna be a good fight?" I'm like, "It's gonna be easy work. Tank ain't fight. That kid ain't on like Tank level." And Tank got mad at me because I'm like, he like, "Nah, you can't just say that because if the world's saying Lomachenko is a big threat, Lomachenko 3-time world champion. He's saying Santa Cruz is a 3-time world champion. So I just can't write him off like that."
Yo, tell Tank get the fuck out of here. He better not compare Leo to
I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying that I don't feel like it's gonna be a tough fight for Tank. Me knowing Tank personally, and a lot of people that said it's gonna be an easy fight for Tank, we know Tank personally. We know what he can do. So I don't feel like it's gonna be a hard fight for him at all. But I honestly think it is a pay-per-view fight just because Tank's star power and Leo's star power. Like you said, he ain't gonna go out on his shield in front of his people. And when you go to Tank fight, that shit ain't just a fight. That's just an event. That's just mega. It's crazy. Yeah. The audience. So if him and Leo, I think they're gonna do big numbers. So of course, I mean, in boxing, in a boxing world, is a pay-per-view fight. I mean, I don't think so. But just the star power and the type of event it's going to be, yes, I think it's definitely pay-per-view worthy because Tank can fight my girlfriend and y'all gonna come and it's gonna be a big event. So if he fight Leo, of course if you fight Leo, it's gonna be a big night of boxing.
All right, we got a few more minutes for our next guest. I got to slide in another one, bringing you a tough question from Compton. Dual Ingram says, no, is this Compton? Wait, I think Foster's in Compton. No, Ingram is in Compton. Says, hopefully you have tough skin and can take criticism and turn it into hard work. You have said that you are one of the best fighters in the world, but your last few performances haven't even looked like top prospect. Have you made any adjustments in camp to improve?
I honestly feel like whoever's saying that don't know nothing about the sport because I fought a live opponent my last TV, not the one before the last one, and Kevin Johnson, which even after that fight they still went and signed him even though he lost in a whole bunch of, he probably won about 2-3 rounds. The commentator had a shutout. Floyd thought it was gonna be a tough fight. A lot of people around me thought it was gonna be a tough fight, and for me to just go out there and swipe out the lead, and I personally think Kevin Johnson can fight, in my opinion. And for me to go out here and take care of business, that was one. And my last fight, I fought a veteran, a guy that's coming down from 147, that's used to taking big punches from bigger guys. And if you want to say, all right, he ain't that skilled, I ain't the biggest puncher. I don't care about catching knockouts. I ain't gonna say I don't care about catching knockouts, but that's not in my agenda for me to go out there and go out here and knock somebody out. If the next best thing, if I ain't knock him out, I wipe him out in every scorecard. So if I wipe him out in every scorecard, obviously I'm showing that these guys is nowhere. They're not on my level yet. I'm not a prospect that's going out here having hard fights with guys that early in my career. I ain't having hard fights or nothing. I'm pleased with the way my career going because I don't want to throw shade on nobody. I love Carlos Valdez, but he suffered a loss early on in his career. So if I could keep going on and winning however I'm winning, how can you say I'm not one of the top prospects? Because Carlos is a top prospect. I believe so. I think he got great skills, but he just was matched wrong that night, and it wasn't his night that night. And he suffered a loss, so I ain't suffered a loss. I fought Trayshawn Wiggins, my fifth professional fight. It's guys 16-0, 15-2, 15-0. Michael Fox was 18, 19-0, and he had a split decision with him. Michael Fox is drawn with guys 15-0, beating them and all type of shit. And I'm fighting my fifth professional fight, and I'm clearing him out. I almost knocked his ass out. So how can you say my performances ain't great? I'm winning every fight.
Champ, it's like you said, man. If they don't know the names, is the lack of education, man. Because if you don't know these fighters, and they're just a name on BoxRec to you, that's how they're gonna look at it. So, you can't take it personal,
Exactly.
champ. You can't take it personal. But listen,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got
no,
our
I'm just
next
saying, no.
guest on. His name is Ronald Ellis, so I do want to be respectful. Richardson Hitchens, I do want to thank you for coming on. If you can, please give out any social media. Actually, do me a favor and answer this question for our fans, because this is one that they are waiting for. Bud versus Spence. I mean, you sound like you're still gonna go Bud, because that's your guy.
Nah, I ain't. That's 50-50. That's both my brothers. That's both my guys. That's 50-50, and we are the winners for that fight. The world is the winner, so I can't wait when that comes.
All right, well, champ, give out your social media if anybody that isn't following you can do so, and thank you again for taking out the time to come on the Voice of the People and talk some boxing here on the Boxing Voice.
Follow me on Instagram at Richardson Hitchens, RICHARDSON HITCHINS. On Twitter, he is Richardson, and keep supporting me. I'll fight for you.
All right, champ. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to Ronald Ellis. Ronald, what's going on, brother? Sorry to keep you on hold. Thank you for calling in and taking out some time to talk some boxing here with us. I gotta know, where does the Rev Run come from? And I thought, oh no, it's Rev Ron. I'm reading it all wrong. I see Rev Run and I'm thinking Run DMC.
Oh yeah, nah. It's just some bullshit that I made up for back in the day for Twitter, and I just ran with it. Always dropping quotes and shit. Felt like a reverend.
All right. Well, first and foremost, man, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you taking out the time. Listen, man, we're very excited to have you. I mean, I think this is like your fifth camp with Canelo? How many times have you been in there with Canelo now?
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, this one got cut short because of, the virus and all that. But yeah, we've been together a lot, in the past couple years.
So what would you say is the biggest thing you've been able to learn from being in those camps?
Being in those camps, it's been great, but you learn shit. Every camp got better, you know what I'm saying? First camp, they treat you, you just go in there, you work, do whatever. Every camp, I started working with him personally and just giving him the best work. That's why they keep calling me back. And I don't look at myself as just a sparring partner. I'm getting better. I'm taking shit and running with it. Because every time he fights, I try to get a fight in between or right after.
So obviously, I'm stalking the Instagram, man. Did you spar Caleb Plant too?
Oh yeah. I was in his camp last fight. Yeah, I was over there early January. Yeah, that's the homie.
Oh, wow, man. Listen, that's some good work. We're going to double back to that. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my co-hosts, Mario Munguia and Alexander Lyonez. Take it away, guys.
Hey, what's going on, champ? It's Alex right now talking to you. Last fight you had was with Emmanuel Alim. I think it was, I believe, a 10-round fight. How far away do you think you are? How far away are you? Do you think you are from a 12-round fight being ready?
Oh, next fight. Hopefully, I'll be ready for a 12-round. I did 3 10-round fights. The last couple rounds go by a breeze, so I'm ready for the 12. Whenever they want to give it to me, I'm ready for it.
And training with Canelo Alvarez, it's I know that you've learned much. Have you had any chance or time for intimate work where you're working on things just with him, you and him, and maybe him teaching you some of the things that he's learned along the way?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. First couple camps, it was kind of shaky. Then being there so often, then we started working, personally, one-on-one. He helps me out, and it's good work, and he really helps me out. Even on the days of not sparring, I go in there and work with him, so it's solid.
Hey, how you doing, Ronald? This is Mario Munguia. So I wanted to talk to you real quick because I know that you haven't debuted this year, and with all this uncertainty, and you kind of spoke about training and it getting cut short. So now you're in a situation where it's hard to find gyms, it's hard to find sparring partners. How do you keep yourself ready, being that you haven't fought since December? Not saying you haven't been in training or anything or in the gym, but how do you stay up at home? What are you planning on doing that's going to keep you ready so that you can hopefully get at least a couple fights before the end of the year?
Yeah, I know. Nobody knows how long this shit's gonna last. But for the meanwhile, I still get out, do my little run. I got a little extra room in the house. I got my little egg weights. I be working in there, but it's nothing like being in the gym. So we could just hope for the best and maintain. Do my little in-house workouts. That's all I got for now.
Now, I read that you started boxing because of your uncle. I think you and your cousin together would train. How deep are your family roots into boxing, and what kind of inspiration was he exactly as far as boxing goes?
Yeah, my uncle, he used to box. He fought in Chicago. His name was Theodore Ward. And my pops, he used to do a whole bunch of karate. That's how it really started. We was doing karate, but shit was too slow. It was 1 point here, 2 points there. And, I wanted to get in there and fight, always being physical. I couldn't play team sports. I was a ball hog and stuff. So boxing was, my uncle threw me in there, always getting into little fights here and there. And boxing was just a place to be. And when I fell in, my little brother fell in and my little sister too. And they're doing great.
So, Ronald, man, I want to take you back to the junior. I hope I'm pronouncing it. Junior Johan, right?
Yeah, Junior.
Yeah, that's a good fight, man. I watched that fight. That's when I got introduced to you, honestly. Well, actually, I did also watch the Jerry Odom fight. Was the Jerry Odom fight a showbox?
Yeah, that was my first showbox. Yeah, showbox debut. Yeah.
So you had two draws with two guys I know. Now Johan, I think highly of. I actually, that fight was a good fight with you. Take me back to that, man. What's your thoughts on that one? Are you on speaker, by the way? Because you got a hell of an echo.
Oh yeah, nah. My phone's on. Hold on, let me see. Let me take it. Yeah, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, take you back to the junior fight.
Yeah. Talk to me about that fight, and would you want a rematch? You got at least 3 discrepancies on the resume, and I want to know out of each of them, which one of them you want, if not all.
Let me say, Junior's probably the top one because he talked a lot of shit. In that fight, the whole fight going in, he talking all that knockout stuff, and when we got in, I was so focused on him trying to fight, he ran damn near the whole beginning of the fight. And then it was just, I was playing catch-up at the end. He tried to pick his little points. I still thought I beat him because he ran out of gas. And I would definitely take that one back. And he's too fat right now, I think. He's going up in weight. I'm going down. I'm fighting 160 now. If he could meet me in between, we could do it again. But I won't even waste my time, really. I got bigger fish to fry.
And what's your promotional and managerial situation? Who you signed with and who's guiding you?
Oh, right now my manager is Ken Shea. I'm with Shears Management. They're based out of here, out of LA. That's where I'm living right now. My promoter is Vito, GH3.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's real cool with Al, and he got a couple connections, and that contract's damn near up. So I'm ready for whatever comes my way.
Oh, is it damn near up? And when you say damn near up, how many fights left?
Shit, I can't even call it. It's not any, but he's my man. He puts me in the right places. If anything, he'll probably put me with Al. He looks out for my best interest.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, the biggest name on your resume is Emmanuel Alim. That was a great win. You really look good in that fight. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, because since the Jerry Odom fight, that's the first time I shot in my hand. Had my first surgery then, and I had 2 more since that fight. So I always been fucking up excuse my language, messing up the hand and shit. So this fight, I didn't have no problems with the hand leading up to camp, and it held up. Had the Grant gloves. Shout out to Grant. Them shits worked beautifully. And, I got to show what I really was and what I am. And it was the hardest fight on paper, but if you watch the fight, it was a breeze, I could have pushed it more, but we stuck to the game plan because came back from my little loss after DeAndre Ware, so I had to just show some skills.
Yo, funny you bring him up. I'm actually screen sharing his box rec because I couldn't let you go without talking about that. People thought you, nah, seriously, people thought you was going like that. You was the favorite in that fight. You was supposed to win. That was his upset. That put him back on the scene, and he ended up capitalizing, getting the fight with Vladimir Shishkin, which he lost by knockout. So like, what happened there?
Yeah. That fight going in, no excuses. We fought. I still, once again, I'm always in these situations with a close fight. So from now on, I'm blowing them out or it got to go down. But that fight, I thought I pulled it off. I thought I outboxed him. I hurt the hand in the fight. I felt like that played a major part in the later rounds because I felt like I was beating him. But yeah, that was, he won his night. He fought after that. And, everything happens for a reason.
Definitely. So we got a few questions from the people I'm going to get to. We got Intrigue in Atlanta says, who would you favor to win if a healthy Keith Thurman fights Terrence Crawford?
Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford's one of them. I like him a lot. He switches. He's real fast, athletic. But, don't sleep on Keith. He got that power, but I got Crawford on that one.
All right. Let's see. The next one is from George Foster. He says, how much do you think moving up and down in weight class can affect the fighter?
It depends all on the fighter. I've been fighting 168. Going back to me, I've been fighting 68 my whole career. First fight, I fought at 68. I felt great. Felt like the bigger guy for once because I'm fighting at 68. I wasn't gaining that much, so I sacrificed a little bit more in camp so I could come down in weight. And, if they got the power, the height, and all that shit, they could go up. So it just depends on the fighter.
Next one is from Carlito in the UK. Says, where in Barbados are you from, champ, and do you go back often? I didn't even know that. This is why I love going to the people.
No, yeah. My mom and dad are from out there. I can't even tell you, really. I know it's sad. But I don't go back often. Last time I've been there was probably 13.
When you was
13? I
13?
got to check back up. Yeah, when I was 13.
Oh, wow. Okay. Next one from Delaware. Jemmy says, do you think Jamal Charlo, who hasn't fought anyone, can beat Canelo or the 32-year-old sloppy off-balance Andre? Jesus Christ. Do you think Andre or Charlo could beat Canelo?
I don't see it. I say Boo Boo got a better chance. He's slick. He's a lefty. Charlo's a good fighter, but shit, I want to fight Charlo. So before he fights Canelo, hopefully I can get that fight. I'm trying to get to the bag. So I see him and Boo Boo a better fight. But I don't think they beat him. You
think they'll offer you the Charlo fight next without nothing in between? You think the Aleem fight was enough attention?
Nah, that's what I'm. The middleweight, it's small. I felt like Aleem had a good fight with Karabov. Karabov fought. It's just in that small circle. I didn't want to fight. Chris Eubank was fighting, Matt Karabov. I would even get one of those guys, whoever won that, and Chris Eubank. So, shit, I wouldn't mind going in there. That's what I'm saying. As a fighting point of view, as a fighter, I've been through a lot of shit. They haven't seen me in a while, and I can take that fight, and I'll prove everybody wrong. But I get what you're saying. Boxing standards, they're going to give me a little fight in between and all that. But I wouldn't mind if they threw me in there.
Wow. Nice. Champ, I'm stalking the Instagram. Tell me you ain't getting there with Kovalev, too.
Yeah, I was in. That's the funny thing, I was in his camp for the second fight when he came back after his loss. Who was that guy? That Alvarez guy.
Wow.
The Canadian. Yeah, so I was working with him, and then I went back to working with Canelo. So I've been around,
How many amateur fights do you have?
I had 25. I was 21-4. I won National Golden Gloves in 2010. I was playing a whole bunch of other sports and in and out of the streets and shit, so I couldn't really focus in. But I got nationals and all that. So
now I get it though. You learning on the job, man. These camps are definitely good for you. These are some great experiences, man. You're blessed to be in all these high level camps. Let me tell you.
Yep, for real. Yeah, been in there a while. Started with like Kelly Pavlik back then with Madonna and shit. So I've been at it for a while.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, with Maidana. That's a story to talk about. We got Caesar in Las Vegas. It says, thanks for coming on the show and answering the questions, champ. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia right now. Who you got and why?
Oh, man, that's hard, yo. I had Tank going up, but working out with Canelo and all them, I've been seeing Ryan, and he's been mature, and I like him. I like Ryan for that fight. But Tank's a dog. Ryan just got to stay on his shit.
For sure. Brandon in Cincinnati says, who at 147 do you want to see your brother face?
Oh, there we go. That's a good question. Lil Bro, they be shitting on Lil Bro. And Lil Bro, he's 22-0, man. A gang of knockouts, 18 or somewhat. I want to see him fight. I like to see him fight Terence Crawford because he's super athletic just like him. And Earl Spence, Earl Spence is a big guy. He's a lefty. So I like to see him fight. Danny Garcia is the first one that I want to fight, and I see that reachable. So I want to see him and Danny first.
All right. Let me see what's next here. We got Dual Ingram in Compton says, could Earl move up to 160 tomorrow and be competitive with Canelo?
Damn, Canelo's a big ass 160, but I heard Earl walk around big as shit too. It'll be a good fight. And if the lefty is a solid lefty, he's not really slick and shit like Boo Boo. I see it happening. Earl ain't small, he's huge.
I love that fight too. We got J Mac in the New Orleans says, Bud versus Spence. Who you got? Why?
Damn, that's the 50-50, man. I heard before, homie earlier said it was a 50-50. And that's a hard-ass fight. I just want to see it.
Victor, man, I got to learn this. I'm supposed to be Baluelos. I don't know. Victor says, how many pay-per-view numbers do you believe a fight between Canelo and Andre does? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's hard. He's probably the least one out of everybody. But they be sleeping on Dimitri. I don't know if that's taking a shot at him, but Boo-Boo, he nice. But that's the problem. He don't bring a lot of people to watch him and shit. So,
Yo,
Canelo's
I gotta
ask.
You be in the gym. You don't tell him what you hear, because obviously people think he ducking Charlo and Andre. Like, you don't tell him? Like, y'all don't be sitting on the apron after a hard sparring like, yo, champ, why you don't just fight these dudes?
That's funny. We be talking about that shit sometimes.
Yes! I love it.
But he be on some shit like, yo, it's for the money. Like, he said that, it's for the money. They're asking for too much. That's what he's saying. But, that's that he say, she say shit. But coming from himself, he's saying if it makes dollars make sense, he'll do it.
Man, that is an amazing situation you got going on, bro, to be able to soak in and actually work with that dude so much. And, just watch, because I heard Ryan say that once he got in that camp, he realized what training on an elite level was, and he switched almost everything up. Was it like that for you? Once you seen how they were training, did you change things to better your game?
Yep. Exactly. From everything they do. I ain't saying I'm biting them, taking all their shit, but even from the stretches from the beginning to even the cool down, you know what I'm saying? It's just different because, I've been in different camps. You said it yourself, and I see the difference. So that can't really open my eyes, and that's why I keep going back. I learned so much shit there. So I don't look at it like, oh, I'm just his sparring partner. I'm taking shit and I'm running with it, and I'm going to show out when it's my time.
Beautiful.
Everybody has their time to shine. That's how it is.
Bro, and that's what you need to do, man. I wouldn't expect you to just be in there to give someone work. You got to take what works for you and apply it to your own camp. Man, I can't wait to see you back in that ring, adding all these new tools you're learning. We got Tracy who says, what's up, fam? Thanks for answering us. I want to ask, are you trying to get that Callum Smith fight for his U.S. debut? But I think Callum is above you. I think Callum is like 175. No, Callum Smith. No. Callum Smith at 168. Now you going down, right?
Yeah, but shit, like, hey, if they wanted that, I could do that too. I wouldn't mind staying at 68. I'm just a smaller guy there. It felt good being a bigger guy for once. But Callum Smith fight, I would take a big fight. If there's a big fight, if it's making money, I'm taking that fight.
Ronald, where are you raised that. You sound almost like Andrade yourself, man. Anybody ever tell you that?
Oh yeah, now we both from New England. Yeah, I'm gonna go to New England 2010. Yeah.
Yo, I'm nasty, man. Yo, I'm fucking.
You from Prague?
Nah, I ain't from Prague. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from Dorchester. I live in Lynn, Mass. I grew up in Lynn.
Bruh, I'm just listening to you and I'm like, wait a minute, man. He sounds like Andre. That's crazy. But we got Brandon Lopez says, thanks for taking the time and coming on the Boxing Voice. If you could choose your next, beautiful question. If you could choose your next 3 opponents, who would you be interested in fighting?
Oh, in any order?
Any order you want.
Any order I want. I'll get Chris Eubank Jr., Jamal Charlo, and Canelo's the guy, but he got the bag than Canelo.
Beautiful. Damn, I love that you still want to fight him. Listen, we've been interviewing heavyweights all day that like, nah, Spar Fury, he's my man. I ain't trying to fight him. I love that you want to fight Canelo even though he's your man. Beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a sport, baby.
Definitely. PMJ says, how strong is Canelo before he's having to dehydrate?
That's what I like about him. He carried that power from the first round to the 12th. Even from when he's big at the beginning of the camp, he's still solid. Even when he was coming out for the Jacobs fight, I think that was his lowest one in the past recent fights, 160. He was still solid doing his thing. So he a solid dude, big as shit. He looks small, but yeah.
Keep it 100. Did you think he was gonna knock out Kovalev though? Like knock him out? I ain't know. Really?
I thought so. And that's funny because I worked out at Buddy's gym over here, at Buddy McGurk's gym, and he worked out with Kovalev. And I was in Kovalev's camp right before that fight. And funny story, Canelo told me he wanted to fight Kovalev, like when he was fighting Jacobs. And I'm like, oh, you tripping, champ? That's 15 pounds. That's 75. You going down to 160. And he got it, and he did what he had to do. But I called it. I know he was going to do that because I've been there with both of them. And I told Buddy that shit too.
Damn. Beautiful. All right. Only a couple more and you're out of here, champ. Thank you again for the time.
Hold on, real quick. When y'all are talking, y'all talking English or Spanish?
Why, I sound bilingual?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but
Canelo?
at the same time...
Nah.
Oh, I was about to say, you want to be on our Spanish version?
Nah, you talking about Canelo? Nah, he talk more English than what he portrays. I think he be bullshit.
That's what a lot of people tell me. That's what a lot of people tell me.
Yeah, he be talking, like, he be laughing, giggling, telling jokes, and he gets the jokes, so I know who we talking about.
That's what's up.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro. I do that for the opposite reasons. We got Prince of Power. How did the Tyson Fury glove look to you? Did you see those Fury videos?
Yeah. You know what? Watching it first, I was like, damn, that's some grimy stuff. But then showing everybody, I don't think you can punch like that. What y'all think? I don't think so. Like, I think his hand was just slipping.
I don't think you can.
I got my own version of that, but I think you can. Yeah. And you got secondary knuckles. You got your main knuckles and you got your secondary knuckles. If your hand's in the position of the glove where the wrist is supposed to be, there's no padding there, so you can hit with the secondary knuckles and really hurt somebody. But this has just been something that's just been everywhere. You got people that are for it, against it. I always fall into the same thing, bro. It's like my eyes can't deceive me. Whatever I'm seeing, I gotta go with. So I can't lie to myself if I'm seeing certain things, like the glove going back in the 90-degree angle. The tape. There's just so much. I mean, you got petitions going around right now, like 7,000 people signing this thing. So, I mean, I think it was something was wrong, definitely.
Chant, you got
but the picture with the fight, was it at the first fight?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, both fights they had the same issue.
Oh shit. I gotta do my research then.
Yeah, they calling it Glovegate, champ.
I'm still stalking the Instagram, bro. You sparred Bivol too?
Yeah, definitely. And what's his name? Alex too. Alex, when he was coming up, that was the guy. The other guy was 75. He was the homie when I was training at Robert Garcia. Yeah, see, I've been around, man. I forgot about all this shit. Yeah, and
for real.
Bruh.
Yeah, and I was sparring with Bivol when, you know what I mean, when I first moved out here to LA, when Bivol had a couple fights when he was fresh from Russia.
Bruh, your confidences must be through the roof to get in there with all them elite level fighters like that.
Yeah, and they keep calling me back, but that's why. But I know sparring partner, I'm just waiting for my time. That's why I need these big fights. But I'm on showing. I'm on showing. You know, anybody can say what they want.
I got one more from the people. JT in the 504 New Orleans says, would rather, I guess he meant to put, who would you rather get hit by? Tyson Fury's special glove or Deontay Wilder's right hand?
What?
Let me see. I'd rather get the glove, man. Nah, I'd rather get the glove. I'll get the slap, man.
Man, I should have just skipped his question, went into mine. I done forgot mine's right now, man. Damn it. Listen, Rev Ron, thank you for coming on. Ronald Ellis, we appreciate it. Truly had a good time today. If you can't give out any social media for those that aren't following, you can do so. And we just can't wait to get you back on, man. I hope this coronavirus passes. Hope everyone stays healthy and we can get this boxing schedule back on and get you on, man. Oh, that's where I was going. Yes. Yo, why are you so confident in doing Charlo next without a tune-up? I mean, not a tune-up, but I'm just saying without another fight, right?
Yeah. Because, like, it ain't nothing against him. I just see something. Everybody say that shit till they get in there, but he's just so aggressive. Like, I just like that style, and I feel like that's going to be his fireworks. Like, we just going to bang it out. He talk a lot of shit, and I just want to shut him up. You know, he always picking on people. It's time to bully the bully.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Everything cool.
But follow me on Instagram. My Twitter, Revron, REVRON 89. You know, I got to get my followers up, so y'all go ahead and do that now.
I just followed, Chan.
Appreciate you, Chan. Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
We've already been following you here on the Boxing Voice. He's following you from his personal account. We've already been following you on the Boxing Voice. But I want to thank you, obviously, once again for coming on. And can't wait to see you back in the ring. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top contender or up-and-coming contender, Ronald Ellis. Wow. My man putting in that work. He's in there with a lot of names. That is some super confidence builder right there to be in with every top name, every champion. I mean,
I'm going back, going and going.
Yeah,
bro.
No, I'm going back watching all his fights. I'm seriously interested.
No, listen, the Johan fight. I was so invested in the Johan fight. Obviously, I know Junior Johan. He came up with Marcus Brown, Gary Starks, and them, and all that. And that's when I seen him. You know, he's a tall kid, long jab. You know, but they both got tired. You know what I mean? He said that Johan they both got tired, and Johan he loads up a lot. You know what I mean? So Ellis could have capitalized probably a little more than he did, because Johan fights in spurts. He's like explosive, but I don't know. That was supposed to be his coming out party. I didn't know Ellis, so I really thought Johan was the favorite. And Ellis put on a great show. And then, but before that, I seen the Odom fight. I did expect him to beat the Odom fight. You know, I didn't dig into that because it's like whatever. It's early in the career. Plus, he's fighting. He's with GH3. That was an in-house fight. But I would have expected him to beat the Jerry Odom fight because I believe Samuel Clarkskin is the one that killed Odom. I was live over there at the Bethlehem Casino, bro. Sands. Was it Sands, I think?
Oh, yeah, it was the Sands,
geez,
bro.
Louise, bro. Poor Odom got killed in there with Samuel Clarkston from Texas, who, you know, had a couple of losses himself, but I think he was sparring Andre Ward or was going to get the Ward fight. Like, he was going to be a Ward tune-up after that Odom fight. So it's crazy how everybody's connected.
Been in there with Bivol, too. So.
Bro, Bivol, too. That's what I'm saying. World champion Bivol. Multiple division world champion in Canelo, and then world champion in Kovalev. I mean, blessed. That kid is blessed, for real. That's insane. Seriously, because let me tell you, people pride themselves on the names they get in there with because iron sharpens iron. You know, plus you learn, you soak in, you see, like he said, how they're training. You learn. Look, he soaked in his stretching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, imagine what a video, of Canelo. I've seen people put out like Pacquiao's 6-pack video, and that shit got like 80 million views because that's like, intimate secrets. So he gets to know Canelo's warm up and cool down stretches, man. And, those are world champions, but
731, that's just so you know.
No,
yeah,
I know.
Okay, I was just making sure. So yeah, to be honest with you, I got to go back and watch that junior fight because I don't remember that at all.
Well, I mean, that's old news, though. I mean, you can go back and see what adversities he suffered.
But I do remember. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say you can
him on the undercard of the Charlo fight. I think it was, and they had him on the YouTube.
For the Aleem.
Yes, for the Aleem fight. Yeah. And so that was the first time I'd ever seen him fight because I had missed his last two. I think Showbox is what they were. So, yeah, I definitely want to go back and watch that junior fight because the way he talked about it, I'm interested now to see it.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. And I pride myself on being aware of guys, man. Usually try to get them before they really go into the limelight. Sure. Look like the Rev flew under the radar, but he definitely gonna be taking people to church, man. Because all that experience, all of that,
man.
all that good sparring, man. It's just whoo.
Yo, when we were in high school, middle school and high school, we used to play this game between like me and like 3 of my friends, where we would just like pick prospects and like they would be our guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, my homeboy picked Mike Jones. And he was like, oh, this is going to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? I had picked Abner Mates before Abner Mates was Abner Mates. You know what I mean? Yeah. We used to do that all the time. It was fun. And, this definitely be a guy I would try to put people on right now with all that experience he's getting.
I'm shocked, though, right? Like, he said, I mean, I think he did say we'll see what comes my way. But he said, Vito's treated him good. And he's sure he'll align him with Al. But... no boxing, no life. They starting to sign people. Just interesting. He didn't, say anything about, Canelo and the possibility over there. Plus, Golden Boy has his brother. No.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I want to see his brother get a shot too, man.
Well, if we're waiting, I will bring up one of the topics. Is that cool?
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to text Jose.
Okay. Yeah, so in order, we would be going to the
Charlo?
The Charlo stuff. But just for a second, because we're on this topic and because it's probably not going to take very long, I'm just going to interject real quick that what's his name from Showtime? Espinosa. Steven Espinosa was on the Showtime podcast, and he was talking about a lot of different stuff. And he had said that he thinks that the solution for a crowdless events are going to come before events with crowds. So they're going to get in there when they can. You know what I mean? They're not waiting for this all to blow over. They're going to have fights. Like, they're going to take baby steps, and that first step is going to be fights without crowds. So he mentioned that. But the big thing that he mentioned that I kind of caught on to, I don't know, maybe if I'm reading too much into it, he did say that they're going to be playing catch-up, in boxing. And this is going to mean that fighters are going to need fights, and there's going to be a lot of activity in a short amount of time. And I'm wondering, could this mean that more Showtime dates with a variety of fighters is coming? So we're talking about all these guys needing fights. We're talking about all these, prospects and showbox guys. But who knows who we're going to see on what networks? These guys are going to need fights. And so I think that they're going to start to use Showtime in a much bigger way, PBC that is, than they have in the past.
Crazy, right? We were just discussing that. We were discussing all those things, man. And it's what other way does it have? Fights it's gonna be a lot of action in a short period of time. And the crowdless events. I mean, you just think about it, man. I mean, by the time we get a vaccination and everything in grip, it's still going to be so much time left over for people to, all be cured or vaccinated or whatever it's going to take. So those crowdless events are going to happen for sure.
You know, the one other point he made too, Doomy, that I really was kind of like caught off guard by because it's so true and I haven't even thought about it. All these sports,
Mario,
boxing, baseball. Yeah. Go
let
ahead.
me interrupt. We got unified 140-pound champion Jose Ramirez on the line. Jose, how are you? First and foremost, thank you for taking out the time to come on the program. We do appreciate it. How are things going? Oh, damn, I just disconnected. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
My bad. Yeah, so real quick, what he did say was that everybody's going to be competing over venues, that with all the wrestling and boxing and, you know, sports in general coming back, that they're going to be competing for venues.
Oh, I
so,
see.
you know, you're going to have football. Who knows how far back basketball goes? If it cuts into the football season, maybe, I don't know. But, you know, it could get crazy. And so venues and dates are going to be very hard to come by.
Maybe the smaller venues are going to get more action now because of this pressure.
All right. Okay, we're back now again with unified champion Jose Ramirez. Jose, how are you, brother? Thank you first and foremost for taking out the time to come on the program. How are things over there?
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's going really good, man. I'm just, staying focused. I just got out the gym right now. I'm training, getting ready for May 9th. Hopefully, it goes on. As we speak, it's still on. It's still on schedule, so I think I'll cancel. But we're still there's still a possibility that it might get postponed. But we're still staying focused in training.
Well, at least we know you're staying healthy. We had a friend of yours, Dr. Juan Bautista, on this morning, so we know you're staying healthy. But can you tell us some of the things you are doing to, I guess, keep the gym clean and sanitary so that you don't get infected with this virus?
Well, the good thing at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, right now the only people going into that gym is it's me, my sparring and my sparring partners. Robert Garcia canceled his amateur program until further notice. So there's no kids, there's no parents coming in. It's only me and my sparring partners, and so yeah, he's keeping the place clean. We got sanitizer there, so we use it before and after, and the bags that we're using are being sanitized every day after training. And when I'm in camp, I just go straight to my apartment. I'm not really out. I just go to my apartment, back to the gym. So I don't really do much in training camp. I just focus on the fight. I really don't go out. Even if there wasn't a coronavirus, when I'm in training camp, man, I'm just in camp, focus on the fight.
Jose, how you doing? It's Alex here from the Boxing Voice. Just wanted to ask,
how's it going,
what's going on, brother? We had Jessica McCaskill, and we just keep referring to her because she had continued her sparring as well. And a part of the concern that we had on the panel was that her sparring partners go home and they interact with whoever they're going to interact, family or whatnot, friends. Are you guys limiting or being precautious on what interactions your sparring partners are taking? In lieu of this coronavirus, or? Right.
So my sparring partners, they're in camp too. So they're professionals. Most of them are undefeated. I spar world champions, or future world champions. I don't really spar just what many people call sparring partners, guys that go back home and that live around the area. I spar people who are actually staying at Robert Garcia's house, because he does have a house right on his property, where they stay. So they don't really do much. They're not from here. They're usually out of the states. Right now the only guy that I'm sparring with is there's two guys. A Dominican, the guy who's a Dominican. He's actually taken off tonight. They were supposed to take off, but they couldn't leave the country, so they stayed. And they're staying at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, the house in the property. And then my second sparring partner is Lindolfo Delgado, who's a Mexican Olympian, and he's the same way. He's from Mexico. He's from Nuevo León, Mexico, and he has his apartment right next, close to the gym. So he doesn't know nobody here. He's just here to train, and just the same way I am. So The sparring partners that I'm sparring are usually not. They're not going out. They're not. They're just focused the same way I'm focused.
Hey, Jose, it's Mario Munguia here. So I'm going to jump right into this question because this is what I really, really want to know. Let's assume that the fight does get canceled. And I'm not trying to throw that out into the air. I know you're training and, but let's just, it's a big concern and it could happen. If the months go by, because there have been, comments that have been made about, how many fights you have left at 140. You've made some yourself. If this fight continues to get postponed months and months and months, is there a chance that we've seen you at 140 for the last time, or will you for sure make one more appearance at 140 before you move up?
Yeah, no, I'm very disciplined right now, so I could make 140 for another year, even 2 years. There's my goal. My goal at 140 is to become unified, is to become the undisputed world champion, and I'm not making my move into 147 until I give myself a try on becoming the undisputed 140 pounder. So I want Postol, and then after that, hopefully get Taylor right after that. So I'm not moving no weight cuts until I fight the other guy with the 2 belts. Then I'll make my move to 147. Once I accomplish the goal and become the undisputed world champion, there's no reason for me to stay at 140. So after that, then I'll move to 147.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I respect your answer, and I respect your decision because you're a fighting champion, and no, we don't appreciate anyone more than that. But let me ask you, as far as a fight with Josh Taylor is concerned, and as big as that would be, don't you feel that with the lack of opponents for Bud that seem to be wanting to step up, don't you think that the star-turning performance would be you and Crawford at 147? Is that the fight of the future that we're all not seeing yet? Because so many people are focused on Spence, that's not happening.
Yeah, no, of course. I think once I make the move to 147, I'll definitely go after the world champions, and Terence Crawford being the world champion for top rank. I'll most likely fight him before I fight any other 147 world champion. The thing is I got 2 more fights in the 140. Hopefully, Postol and Taylor. Once I do that, I want to give myself the opportunity to be the best, to be known as the best 140 with no doubt, by having all the belts. And then next year I could be at 147. Hopefully, if everything goes well, this could happen before the year ends. Hopefully, I don't fight too late at the end of the year, where I could make one more fight before the year ends, and then move to 147. Crawford, 147, I'll definitely be. It'd be an honor for me to face a 147 pounder like Crawford. So, I'll definitely make my jump to 147. I don't know if Top Rank will make that fight happen right up to back, but I think there's a big chance. I think there's a big chance because I'll be coming out as an undisputed 140 pounder, which will give me a lot of credibility to go out there and face the best 147. But yeah, when I do move to 147, it will be to face the best, and Crawford will be within my eyes as soon as I make that move.
Now, before I pass you back off to Ness, I just want to run this by you and get your thoughts. We have Canelo. He is solidified as the #1 Mexican fighter in the world, most popular. But you're Mexican-American, and you have gotten a bigger and bigger following as your career has gone on, and you are at a point where you're starting to shoot like a rocket, and you really could peak in any of the next few fights. Do you feel that kind of pressure? Do you feel like you're starting to get into that limelight? Like Mikey Garcia is starting to get into that limelight. You're one of those guys who could emerge as the next potential big star, Hispanic star within the Top Rank promotion. Do you feel that? Do you feel that way? Is that ultimately the goal?
I mean, Canelo.
Cut out a little bit. Jose, you cutting out a little bit.
I think they both cut out.
They both cut out. Ness.
Ness is gone.
Ness. Is Ness even like looking at us right now?
No, he's not. He's definitely not.
No.
Damn, I really, really, really wanted to hear what he said.
I was very interested. Yeah, those are good ones.
Oh, man. Yo, because look, I don't know if we're live. I'll just pretend like we're still live because I'm not sure if Skype is listening or not. But yeah, dude, I feel like he could be like that next huge star. I really think him and Crawford is the fight that everyone's
absolutely
overlooking.
You know, and when you said that, it rung a bell because Top Rank has been one of the best
guys. We got him
promotional
back.
machines.
Yes.
Jose, you there?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Apologies.
No problem. So what I was saying is, to answer you guys' question, for me, I focus just on taking one fight at a time. In the rankings, I've never been such big fan of rankings or popularity. I like to go out there and really just really give it my best, and the good thing about this though is that I'm getting stronger after every fight. I feel like I'm getting stronger. Every sparring session that I have, I feel like I'm getting stronger. Every time I go back in camp, I feel like I'm starting where I left off, and to be honest, I still feel like I haven't got to my peak. And I think the better names that I face, the better Jose Ramirez you'll be able to see. And I think being the undisputed 140 will definitely put my name up there.
Jose, it's Alex again. Last fight you had was Maurice Hooker before this fight is scheduled now. You had several months that you weren't in action. Do you find it hard, or what do you do to maintain your athleticism and weight in between fights?
No, just I maintain myself in working with my strength and conditioning coach, and we're always working, man. Even if I don't post things on social media, or even if I don't have a fight schedule, I'm always working. I'm always trying to stay sharp and keeping myself disciplined when no one's looking. So, I came back to this camp and back in late November to get ready for Postol before the fight got canceled, and then I was looking stronger. I was looking stronger than where I left off against Hooker. I sparred Mikey couple sessions. As he was getting ready for Jesse Vargas. I sparred 154 pounders, 160 pounders, 147 pounders, and I was just a little too strong for the 140. So I was working with bigger guys, and then I thought I really felt stronger and sharp and fast, and I'm excited. I'm excited where my career is going. I think I'm excited to face Postol, and hopefully after that face Taylor and definitely beat Taylor. And I just beat him it's a good fight, but to make a statement, I think I could definitely make a statement against Taylor, and that statement could be, keeping letting a lot of people, or shocking a lot of people by the way I'm gonna hopefully beat him, and then move to 147. And once I move to 147, I want people to see me as Jose Ramirez, a 147 pounder, not as Jose Ramirez as a 140 pounder, because 7 more pounds could be a big difference in my body. I could be a lot bigger. I could be a lot stronger. I could take the punches better, absorb the punches. I think my speed is a lot of people underestimate my speed. But when I was in the amateurs, I had to beat this fast amateur fighters in a 3-round fight to get my berth in the Olympics, and so the way I had to do it is by boxing them in and out, that type of rhythm. So I could use that type of rhythm whenever I want. If you see my fight against Hooker, I was using that rhythm to beat him to the jab and to go close the distance whenever I wanted to, and I really didn't feel Hooker's punches at all. So I think my body is maturing a lot. I think I'm getting stronger, and before you know it, hopefully I will have all the belts on me, making my way to 147. And as a big threat to the 147 pounders.
Hey, real quick, speaking of Hooker, assuming that fight goes on, who do you favor between him and Progress?
I don't know. I think Hooker has a new team now, so we'll see how he does against. Now he's training with Crawford. He's training with that team. So that could be good for him. Better sparring opposition, sparring Crawford, Jamal Harry, and all those guys. So that's a good camp to be there. So that could make a better hooker. Rages for Grace is still in the same camp. I don't know how focused he is. I don't know if he, if he's still hungry to make noise. The fight's gonna happen at 143 or 144. So I don't know how their bodies are gonna react with those 4 pounds. Maybe Hook could be the bigger guy, as he's the taller guy. And when he faced me, he looked slim. Maybe those 4 pounds will help him out to be the bigger guy in there. So I still think for Grace might beat him if he fights right. I think for Grace does have the skills to beat Hooker, but again I think Hooker could be a much better hooker than what people saw when he faced me. But that's just my prediction, and I think I think if I had to play with someone to be Regis for Grace, but I'm not counting Hooker out at all. Again, he has a new camp. He's gonna be fighting at the catchweight. He's gonna most likely be the bigger guy. So we'll see.
All right, Jose, man, I got a bunch because I'm going to give you some questions from the people, but I just want to say first and foremost, man, I really appreciate you, and I hope that doesn't come off cliche because, what people may not know is you've been on the show as a prospect, as a contender, then as a world champion, and now as a unified champion, and that just means a lot to us. Anybody that can be a champion and still come back on the show, sometimes people, don't. So we really appreciate you. That being said, I'm going to spice this interview up, man. Got to get some salsa, a little bit of un chin de picante, algo. Because, listen, if you become undisputed, I got to ask, do you think that your undisputed run would be greater than Terrence Crawford's? Now, you both won a vacant title. He won his WBO vacant versus Delorme. You won your WBC vacant versus Aman. Then he unified with Postol. So then you turned around and unified with Hooker. His unification for undisputed was with Undango. Your unification for undisputed would be with Josh Taylor. Who do you think would have the better run? Who would history say was the better undisputed 140-pound champion?
Well, by the books and in the record, I think it'll definitely be me. Just because the unified champion on the other side is an Olympian who won a World Series of Boxing facing other world champions. As in Dongo, I think Dongo shocked the world by a one-punch knockout, against a Russian, and then he went on to, I think he beat the guy from England or from the UK, who was a 135-pounder. So I would say me, but I don't think that should measure that I'm a much better fighter than Crawford. I think Crawford just the names weren't there when he became the undisputed world champion. Like there is now. I think if Crawford would have stayed at 140 a couple more years, I think it would have been a great match for me to face Crawford at 140. And that will say who was the better 140-pounder. But right now, to say whose route was more difficult to become undisputed, I would say mine, just because of the fighters that you have now at 140. I don't think Dongo went on to get knocked out by Grace, after Crawford. So, but I just on record, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be a better 140. I don't think no records or nothing should say someone's better unless they face each other. So.
All right, and I gotta ask, man. You said you sparred Mikey. Obviously, you're in that gym with Robert Garcia. When you're sitting on the apron, do you guys talk about Crawford? Because Mikey faced him, I believe, twice in the amateurs. And everyone knows that Top Rank continues to talk about the fact of you possibly moving up and facing him in the future and him needing opponents. Have you ever had that conversation with your trainer, Robert, or with Mikey, who's been in the ring with Crawford?
Most definitely. Most definitely we have that conversation. We're obviously, I'm obviously focused on my fights that are right in front of me. But yeah, we definitely had that conversation before, and Robert knows me better than right now than anybody. As he knows, the way I'm punching, the speed, the way I'm doing against my sparring partners. Mikey, he has a great idea of how strong I am. That I sparred with him this last couple sessions about a month and a half ago, right before he fought Jesse. So I think they have a great idea of how good of a 147 I could be, and again, keep in mind, I still maintain that body as a 140 pounder, because I am disciplined enough to maintain, my weight close, to the 140, so I could make the weight properly and be strong when I perform. I don't go up too high. I usually stay in the mid 150s. And we got Virgil Ortiz, a 147 pounder, who comes in at the beginning of camp, in the mid 160s or higher. So I know I know my body's going to change dramatically in a way when I make the 147. I know how much bigger I'll get, and how stronger I'll get, and I know my body's going to be able to take punches better by blocking them, by absorbing the punches a lot better. So I know that. And I talked to Robert actually a couple of days ago. It was just me and him in the gym, and I told him, "Hey, Robert, what do you think of me at 147?" And he goes, "Well, I think you're gonna become a champion the way you are a champion at 140. I think you're getting better and better, and I'm very happy with what I see. I'm very pleased, and your heart, your will is gonna take you a long ways in the sport. So just stay focused." And that's exactly what I'm doing. Just staying focused and staying disciplined.
I gotta ask, man, what do you think was the differences now? Because you've been with Freddie and now you're with Robert, and obviously both are elite level trainers.
Yeah. No, I think the biggest difference is your stablemate. I think, Robert Garcia has nothing but, lions in there. So the sparring, Robert finding the best sparring partners for me to be, as ready as I could be when it comes to the fight nights. As at the wild card, I think Freddie was just sometimes a little too strict on who came to the gym and who didn't. And sometimes I just had to sparring partners that were training at the wild card where, he could have taken the time to, call different gyms and find the appropriate sparring partners for me. I think Robert Garcia does that, and also has the sparring partners already at the gym. But again, Robert's always working. He's always moving. I think he's very active, and he's very fortunate to train me. So he's, he moves around, and he makes sure that I have everything I need during training camp.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Did you just say he's very fortunate to train you?
He seems like he's very fortunate. So I could see the excitement. I could see the excitement. So what I'm saying is that
no. Don't take it the wrong way. Listen.
No.
I love the confidence. I was about to say this, man. I love confidence. So
no, but it's the way I was telling you guys is the expression of him and he feels very fortunate to train me. It's like it's the difference of me just saying he's very fortunate to train me. It's something that he feels. It's something that he expresses to me when I'm training with him, and something he shows me, by being there every single day. By if I tell him, hey, Robert, can we train earlier today? Because I got some business to take care of. He'll be like, okay, at what time? And he'll be there. He'll be there at the time. So, I think with Freddie, I think he had too many world champions. So another world champion, I don't know if I meant the same. I don't know if he got satisfied with all the world champions he trained in the past. That's what I meant.
That makes sense.
All right. So we're gonna go to the people, and if you're running out of time, just let us know at any time. And anything that you might have already answered throughout our conversation, we don't expect you to re-answer. We're just giving that person a shout out for taking out the time to ask you a personal question. We got George Foster in the United Kingdom says, "Do you have plans to move up to 147?" Obviously, you answered that, but he says, "Who do you see as the top dog in the division?" So, who do you think is number one at 147 now?
I think Crawford. His last fight, he came across adversity, but the way he finished off his his opponent was impressed me because he showed that killer instinct, and that's something that I respect. That I look, when I look at and see a fight, that's what I pay attention the most is the killer instinct that one has, and that will, So I think Crawford has. Having that will make him right now the top dog at 147.
Intrigued the Incredible. He switched his question up. He says, "Who do you favor and why if Jerron Boots Ennis is able to somehow get a fight in 2021 against Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence?"
I'm sorry, if who?
Jerron Ennis.
Oh, he still. I think he still has. I've seen a couple fights and he looks strong and fast. He knocked out one of the guys that was training at Wirecard, I think. I think he still has some more experience to gain. Maybe 2021, maybe. I think he'll definitely be a good 147 pounder. But he looks like a big guy, so we'll see if he could stay at 147.
All right. Caesar in Las Vegas says, "What's up, champ? Thanks for being the people's champ and answering the fans' question. I follow you on IG. Congratulations on a beautiful family. My question is, would you like your son to follow your footsteps and take up boxing, or do you think it's too brutal of a sport?"
If it was up to me, I'll definitely put him in a team sport rather than in boxing. But if he shows that he wants to do it and I know what it takes, me being a fighter, so I could go back when I was 8 years old and started. So I know all the sacrifices I had to do at such a young age that I know if my son doesn't have that, I'm just going to take him out. If he shows that he has what it takes, then I'm just going to support him as a father.
All right. Ryan, a.k.a. Dempsey, says, "What's up, champ? During the transition of the Olympians to world champion, did you ever imagine that you would be so close to fighting for undisputed super lightweight supremacy for 4 belts?"
No, I think me when I, coming out of the Olympics, my goal was just to become a world champion, and that seemed so far away. At a point when I was in the Olympics, just because of the names that were still fighting when I came out. But now that I'm so close, man, it's just, and I'm very grateful. And I think I kept the mentality of one fight at a time. So when I went into the professional level, I just went one fight at a time, and I just can't wait to be in that level of competition when you're facing the best. So now that I'm facing the best, I'm very blessed to be in this position. So I'm going to definitely stay as focused as I can to maintain myself in this position for a long time.
All right. Josue Boxeo says, "Who's your favorite Mexican fighter?"
It was someone that I didn't get to see fight live, but I got to see him study. I study him a lot on the internet. Be Salvador Sanchez, man. I like his whole charisma. I like his composure. I like how simple he was every time he entered that ring with the big smile. And, that guy could fight, and his rhythm, his combination, and his power. He made Mexico very proud. So I really like Salvador Sanchez.
All right, let me see. The next one is from Dual Ingram in Compton, says, "Promoter Edward Hearn has thrown out crazy numbers to attract fighters. For example, he offered Mikey $8 million for one fight. If he came out in public and said, I'd offer Ramirez $8 million to fight oh my God, Mikey's your stablemate, to fight Mikey or any other world-class fighter around your division on Dazn, do you think the Top Rank would be willing to make the fight for you in your best interest, or or will they more loyal to ESPN, or will they be more loyal to ESPN?
It just depends, if it's, if it was a fight that was going to benefit me like for example, this fight against Hooker, it was with Eddie Hearn. So I had to pay Top Rank something out of my purse for me to go out there and fight Hooker. But I know that the outcome was going to be big for me because I was going to most likely come back as a unified world champion. So I was going to be worth more as a unified champion. But just for me to go out and fight another champion or another fighter without a title bout, I don't think Top Rank will allow that to happen. I think I'm under a contract with them to be an ESPN fighter. So, promoters they don't really like to share the fighters unless it's a benefit. And now that they signed Taylor, they have all the champions at 140 under their umbrella. So there's no need for me to go fight another fighter in a different TV network. Now, if my contract with Top Rank ends, definitely I'm gonna look after my best interest to see who offers me the best deal for me and my family. Obviously, yeah.
All right, Brandon Maurice. I don't know why people love this. Is like those would the Charlo brothers fight each other? Would Vladimir Klitschko fight each other questions? But Brandon Maurice says, would you ever fight someone who is also in Robert Garcia's stable?
I think me and Robert talked about it last time, and he answered it perfectly. I think if they offer us some type of money where we cannot say no to, obviously that's gonna be life changing for us. Why not? But if it's something to where it's not gonna get our attention, most likely we won't. We got too much respect. And this is like a family. This is like a team. That. We're working as a team. We support each other, man. When Berchelt fights, we all show up. When Mikey Garcia fights, we're all, showing up and cheering them on. So, I mean, for the first time, I feel like I'm in a team, and I think they feel the same way. So, but now they come and they offer some crazy, $15 million to $20 million each. I mean, how could we say no to, So, we'll make that fight happen if it's going to change the money,
Man, you're a fighter, man. I love it. I love that answer. It's a great answer. We got Jemmy in Delaware who says, do you think Virgil will be unstoppable at 147?
Virgil's very young, and he's 20. I think he's just 21 years old. So, his birthday was yesterday, by the way. So, happy birthday to Virgil. I think right now, if he was to give him the chance, I think he'll definitely be. Give anybody a run for their money. At 147, he's really strong, and his volume of punches is really high. He comes in tremendous shape. He works really hard, and he's very disciplined. I mean, this kid doesn't. He's always training. Even when he's not in camp, he's always working out, and his dad keeps him on the right path. So I think he could definitely be. A world champion at 147 for a while. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how he feels. He is a big boy and he's very young, so he's still growing a lot. So we'll see how difficult it becomes for him to make 147, and see what happens there. But I think Robert said that they're trying to give him a couple more fights before he faces Crawford or before he faces this Errol Spence. But they're all, he's on the Golden Boys umbrella, so those fights are kind of difficult for Virgil to go after. But I think a guy like Ugas or even Sean Porter, I think Virgil will beat both of those guys. And then after that, if he beats him, and Robert and his dad sees that he's ready to make that bigger jump to face the champions, I think that's what they'll do. But I think he'll beat a fighter like Sean Porter, a fighter like Ugas. I think he'll beat a lot of the 147 contenders. But he's still very young, so there's still a lot of room to grow as a fighter.
All right. Salvador Asesino says, "What's up, champ? In what weight division would you end your career?"
Maybe, maybe 154. I would say 154. I think, I am 5'10", so it just depends. But I think 154 will be my last stop. If I do make the 160, it'll probably be. I don't know if I'll have that heart to continue boxing by that time. So, I don't want to be boxing just for the money. I want to, I love the sport and respect the sport too much to just, fool the fans and just show up for a paycheck. So, I think 154 would be my last stop.
All right, we got Alvaro that says, "Thanks, champ, for supporting the hardcore fight fans and coming on the Boxing Voice. Some of the greatest fights in boxing history have been Mexican versus Mexican. If you could fight any other Mexican boxer, active or not, who would it be?"
Yeah, that's a good question. I think someone at 140 would probably be. Just because it'd be such an honor for me to face at 140, I think I think Julio Cesar Chavez. He was the only. I mean, I have the WBC belt and I have his face on it as the WBC saw him as one of the top 140. So there's my picture there, and then there's his picture there at 140. So that'd be such an honor for me to face a fighter like Julio Cesar Chavez. And I know I cannot win a argument against his fans or the fans out there to see who will win. I think, but that'd be someone I would love to. I would have loved to face at 140.
Yo, somebody's selfie on the belt has got to go.
J Mac in New Orleans says, "Bud versus Spence, who you got?"
That's a 50-50. That's a 50-50. I seen Errol Spence train as an as his Olympic teammate, and he works hard. He works really, really hard. Now, we haven't seen him perform after his accident, so it's hard for me to read what type of condition he is, what type of level he is, or the circumstances he is at right now. So, I would probably favor right now Crawford until I see Errol Spence face have one more fight, and then to really give a better observation and to answer that question in a better way.
Jose, are you pressed for time? Because we still got some more from the people, but if you don't have time, I know you've been on already for a good amount of time.
No, I got about 10 minutes.
All right, brother. We got Cali Fire that says, "What's up, champ? Thanks for coming on the Boxing Voice. I've been a big supporter since day one. Been to all your fights in Fresno. Virgil Ortiz seems like a future champion at 147. If you move to welterweight by the end of the year, do you see that as a passable matchup? And why does no one know that you guys work out in the same gym?" But I don't know. I guess he does, because he says, "Do you see that as a possible matchup in the future, even though you're both training in Robert Garcia's gym?" Peace from 209 North Cal.
Yeah. Right now, we haven't really looked that far away of facing a 147 pounder. The only 147 pounder that's been in my radar right now, if I do move to 147, is Crawford. But if Virgil Ortiz if he's still at 147 and he becomes a champion and I become a champion, and again they offer us a good amount of money that could be life changing for both of us, why not? Why not fight? But if I do if I go after the champions, it's obviously gonna be against someone that's not in from the gym. Not Mikey or Virgil, just because of we don't tend to face each other unless there's no any other option.
All right, JT in New Orleans says, "Do you think Earl Spence would be a small middleweight?"
I don't think so. I think he's 5'9", 5'10", and I think I seen Lately, he looks like a big guy. So I think I think he'll be a good 154 pounder. He has a good sized body frame, so I don't think he'll be too small as a junior middleweight. Maybe as a middleweight right now, but not as a junior middleweight.
All right. Victor says Loma versus Mikey got away. Wilder versus AJ got away. Thurman versus Spence got away. Which big fight do you think is going to get away from us boxing fans next? Politics are lame.
Maybe there's Crawford against Errol Spence right now. As they're the they have all the titles. So and many Packer that he has won, but I think Errol Spence and Crawford is what are the top guys at 147. So I don't know if that fight's gonna ever happen. Every other division plans to unify or fight for the undisputed. I don't know about the welterweight division.
All right. Just a few more. We got Rick in the ATL. Atlanta says, "Hey champ, you won as a fan when you dismantled Hooker." I guess he meant to say you won me as a fan. And when you dismantle Hooker, great job, very impressive. I just wanted to know what your diet is like if you have to cut weight before a big fight.
Listen, my diet during the my whole training camp is steak, potatoes, and rice. Steak, potatoes, and rice. I eat that maybe 3 to 5 times a week. If I'm not eating steak, I'm eating chicken. So now the last couple of weeks, the last maybe 2 weeks before the weigh-ins, I cut down on the rice and I cut down a little bit on the potatoes. Now the week before, I definitely cut the rice out and the potatoes. I only eat my protein with maybe a little salad in the side. And that's when I pick up my water even more. I'm always staying hydrated, so I pick up my water now, but more. But when I get closer to maybe 3 days before the weigh-ins, I cut down a lot in my calories, which my protein goes down just a little bit less. So I'm only having maybe 4 to 6 ounces of steak throughout the day, and that's when I start. My body doesn't have that sodium no more because I've been training my body to keep the carbs away and the sodium away. So by then my body just like a sponge. You squish the sponge and all the water comes out. So my body becomes like that. 24 hours before the official weigh-in. Now I don't cut the final water weight until the evening before the evening before my official weigh-ins. And if I have to drop a pound or 8 ounces the morning of the weigh-ins, I do that. But my body maintains itself very healthy and strong because I don't start until I don't start weeks away. I don't stop having carbs and meat too far away from the fight. I don't stop drinking water 24 hours before the weigh-ins. My last cut is usually the evening of the weigh-in. So that's pretty much a quick version of my diet throughout my camp.
Yeah, that's a nice breakdown. Very, very good. And then the sodium, obviously, you're getting rid of the sodium because sodium makes you retain water.
Exactly.
And it's manipulation of the liquids.
Right. So all the seasoning that goes in your food, even if you like season it, or for your food, for you to enjoy the food. So I like to enjoy my food just because, if I'm keeping my body less stressed throughout my camp, I could focus on myself getting ready for the fight. A lot of people, they diet really strictly, but they're so focused on making weight, and they just show up every day they're showing up. They're a month away from the fight, and they're showing up with the sauna suit. Like they're so focused on making their weight. How could they really train their bodies to the maximum potential when they're training with sauna suits on? You know what I mean? How could they really burn the calories they need to when they're dehydrated? So I maintain my body really, really strong, especially throughout my high rounds of sessions of sparring. And usually 2 weeks out is my high 2 weeks out is where I'm picking at my sparring rounds, or 12 to 15 round sparring sessions. The last week
Wow.
I'm sparring. I go down there last week. I go down from 8 to 6 to even and then finish at 6. But at that point, I'm just focusing on speed. I'm not focusing too much on making a statement because I know that my body's already strong and ready to go. There's nothing else for me to prove to my sparring partners. I already proved myself the week prior.
Yo, I love you. I love that you said. I love that you said that. Oh man, that's amazing, man. I love
the
that.
thing is, so a lot of people need to understand, and I was just talking to my coach and even to my other sparring partners. I don't go in there just to do my routine, man. When I go in there, if you're lazy and you just want to do the rounds, because a lot of champions, once they become champions or they become too satisfied, man, they just want to go out there and just take the sparring like another, regular day at the office where you're going with the routine. Man, if you're not gonna throw punches at me, I'm gonna jump on you, and I'm gonna land my punches and wake you up, or step out, or do me the favor to step out and have another guy that's gonna throw back, because I want to get myself ready for my fight. So,
yes.
So the last, my last sparring week, that's where I start cutting on the carbs because I don't need the carbs no more. I'm just my potatoes and my protein. I'm good with that. Now 7 days before the weigh-in, I cut all the carbs completely from the potatoes and the rice. So I just keep my protein just to have enough energy because now I'm only focusing on making the weight. I'm keeping my sweat, keeping my weight low, and then so I slowly train my body to be ready for the cut. I don't shock my body by all of a sudden I'm gonna cut everything off. You know what I mean? And my body's like, well, what's going on? And so I do it by steps, and I prepare my body to be ready. So when I do, make that cut, it goes smooth in my body. Before you know it, I'm back in my room, hydrating myself again.
Beautiful.
Wow, what a nice transition, man. That was one of the best.
Yeah, we got to clip that little breakdown right there, man. That is amazing. Thank you. Nice. We got Iron Sal in California says, have you sparred Virgil and Mikey? If so, who gave you the better work?
They both did. They both did. I'm not gonna say who was the strong out of the both. They're both very good fighters. One is, Virgil, he's young, he's hungry. Mikey, he's very, very technical. They both gave me the work I needed, and I had sparred both of them multiple times.
All right. We got Herman Villa says, hope you and your family are doing well in these crazy times. I just wanted to know which boxer you think is better, Salvador Sanchez or Julio Cesar Garcia. Thank you, champ.
Julio Cesar Garcia. No, I think. Well,
I think you meant Chavez.
I don't know if you meant Chavez.
Yeah, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Well, I think one of them was he passed away too early. Salvador Sanchez having that car accident that took his life at 23 years old. There was. I wish that wouldn't have happened, and we would have seen more of his overall resume and to see how he was going to develop. But and Chavez, he went on to become 89-0 type of fighter. And he fought with balls every single fight, man. I he did not give up into the last bell rang. So I think overall, Chavez was able to show more. You know what I mean? But who did I like as a fighter? And during the short period of time that I got to see Salvador Sanchez fight through YouTube and looking at his fights from his shorter career, I think I really like Salvador Sanchez, man. I really like how he was as a fighter. His composure, his humbleness, his style. I mean, this guy, he literally seconds before his fight, he was smiling. He was always with a big smile, jumping up and down, just ready to go in there. And once that bell rang, I mean, he became fearless. He was a good fighter, and he was only 23 years old when he passed away. So overall, I think that's someone that I look at every time I need some motivation. I look at Salvador Sanchez video clips and interviews and the way his attitude.
Now, Jose, you said you had 10 minutes ago, about over 10 minutes ago. So we got three
Yeah.
more, or
Oh.
you can definitely check out because you've been super gracious with your time. We appreciate you. So, really up to you.
Yeah, well, no, let's finish the last three questions.
You're the champ, man. People's champ.
Yeah.
We got Trey says, you've answered this one, so this will just be a shout out. He says, do you think Virgil Ortiz is ready for Bud this year? You said no. Brandon Lopez says, thanks for taking the time to come on the Boxing Voice. Being from Central California, which professional teams did you like growing up, and who was your favorite athlete?
I like the. I'm a Lakers fan, and I was a big Kobe fan. I like the Chivas in soccer from the Mexican League. I'm from Michoacan, and Guadalajara is right next to Michoacan. But my grandpa was good friends with a lot of families from Guadalajara, so he became a Chivas fan, and that kind of just went on with the family. And then football, I've been a Cowboys fan. And I think there's been a lot of great athletes. I think an athlete, a soccer player that I really liked that played for Chivas was a guy from La Piedad, Michoacán. That's where my grandpa's from, so my family's from. So his name was Ramon Morales, and he was a lefty, and he was a good, very good, quiet, humble player. I mean, he wasn't worldwide known. I mean, he didn't play overseas in the European League, but he was a great player for the Mexican team. And Kobe Bryant, I think, as far as basketball, my era, when I was, growing up, playing basketball in junior high, all the jump shots was, Kobe. At the same time, we scream Kobe every single time we shoot. So I think Kobe and LeBron James, I really like LeBron James as an athlete right now, because he's still being a good leader. He works really hard, and there's a lot of good athletes out there, man. And I think that's what I focus more on athletes now than I would say teams.
All right. Well, Jose, the last one, I promise, is from Prince of Power, who says, hey, champ, have you seen the videos of Tyson Fury's gloves, and how did it look to you?
I haven't really seen much. I think only a couple pictures that were on social media that kind of popped out on my newsfeed. I think some of the argument was that the glove wasn't all the way in, so he was punching with this kind of slapping the punch, but no padding. But me as a fighter, I don't think me not putting the glove all the way in is going to benefit me. I think it would definitely be more as a disadvantage if if my glove is wobbly from the top. I like to, really put my hand all the way in so I could really grip the glove, and I think and make that fist. So I don't think that's a good argument to have. I think Tyson Fury will be more as a disadvantage. Now about the padding inside, if you mess with the padding in the inside, I don't know about that one. I don't think he did. I was at the fights, and I think I was at the fights. I was ringside actually at the fights, and I think the biggest thing that I saw was Wilder so fatigued, from the opening bout, so tired, and I don't think the gloves of no one has nothing to do with how tired Wilder looked and how sloppy in a way, and his body language seemed like if he was in there for 10 rounds already. I think his body language wasn't a very good, a very positive one. And after the first round, I was shocked. Tyson Fury was just on him, and the fight got worse for Wilder as the rounds went. We'll see. I know he wants to fight the third fight, so we'll see how he does. But I wouldn't, about the padding of the gloves. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, Jose, just thank you, man. Look, I'm shocked of all the time you've given us. Thank you so much for coming on the show and talking some boxing with us. We truly appreciate it. If you can, give out your social media. And, we look to get you back on, obviously hoping that your fight goes forward in May.
All right, man. Sounds good, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right.
I appreciate it. All right, man.
All right. There you have it, ladies
You
and
guys have a good day.
gentlemen.
You too,
Contender
man.
Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez. Yo, that was an amazing interview, brother. Crazy.
All three of them, man.
Wow.
People's champ.
Wow. Yeah, they were all good, but I mean, like, dude, that dude was on for like an hour. He reminds me of Wilder, bro. That was crazy.
I was gonna ask him
man.
too, man, about Mike Tyson had his pigeons, and I was Insta stock and I saw que tenía un gallo, good looking gallo too, man. He probably got his own stable of gallos over there. It's real big out there in Mexico.
Wow. That was a great interview. All right. So we obviously got to connect with the people. Landlord, what up? Landlord just jumped out. Listen, if you want to add us, do that on Skype. Add Nestor Gibbs. See, this is why I say that being a Patreon is important, right? Because look, Blog Talk is down. There's nothing I can do. That's it. You're out. But it is Thursday, so if you're at least a $5 level, you can definitely call into Skype, add Nestor Gibbs, and we will get you on the call. We haven't opened up the phone lines because we have tons of news and notes to get to, but I think we should open up these phone lines, definitely, and get these guys on here, and I don't know, just talk some boxing with everybody, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, anything you guys want to add, final thoughts, anything that stuck out from the interviews before we start jumping out to the callers. And remember, if you want to call in, don't forget you just have to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation.
What stuck out for me was when he was talking about his weight cut, and it just gave me an insight into how his scientific and old school training, meshed together. Robert Garcia is one hell of a trainer, but it looks like they're doing things scientifically over there, and that's wonderful to hear, because you always want, to have your champion stepping into the ring in tip top shape, and being nurtured to where he's at his best to perform at the highest levels. That was what stuck out for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree fully. I love the way he broke that down. Listen, if anybody ever wants to diet and has that kind of discipline, that's a surefire way of losing fat and gaining muscle, really, really well. And so, you wouldn't need to cut out the rice at the end like he does, because you're not trying to make weight, assuming. But to me, what stuck out, because I'd heard from a few people that aren't necessarily in his camp, but are pretty close to Robert. And I've heard that he had been wanting to move up. He hadn't really said much about it, but I had heard he had been wanting to move up. I guess, he's definitely hell bent on the, Josh Taylor fight. And that's great. I'm happy about that. It was a little disappointing in the sense that I feel like there is this thing that can happen at 147 with him that could launch him into stardom. I really do. But y'all got to remember, the 140 division to 147 has not been kind to everyone. Guys like Bradley did it really well, but for every Bradley, there's a Danny Garcia, who I wouldn't say did it bad, not at all. But when he said, what stuck out the most was he was talking about how he doesn't want to be the guy at 147 who's a 140 pounder or the one. And I feel like, not that he was talking about Bud, but he was basically describing what happened to Bud, And so I don't think that was a diss or anything. I don't think he was throwing out subliminals. I just think that he has a really a good understanding of the issues that face 140 fighters that move up to 147, because there's so many of them. You got the Crawfords, you got the Garcias, the Matisses. A lot of guys do not travel up well. Ricky Hatton, that one, for whatever reason, those 7 pounds have been some of the most difficult pounds in the last, I would say, 15, 20 years of boxing. Other than the heavyweights, which I really don't count because that's a whole other type of division. This is a really important jump for a lot of guys, and this is what makes guys stars. Bradley at 140 was not the star he was at 147, and there's a reason for that. Provodnikov, same thing. Like, these guys benefit from the money division, quote unquote, because then your name gets thrown around with the Crawfords and the Spences. And so, I just think that he has a really good handle on things, and I would love to see him clear out 140 and, move up to 147.
Yeah, I think it'll happen to him, and definitely, you saying that he's been wanting to move up for a while. I can see where that that is what it is, because I mean he has the frame to fill in. He's 5'10".
Yes, dude.
So
yes, you're right.
He
So
has
right.
the frame to fill in, so he's probably already to the point where, 7 pounds might make a big difference, but it's all going to depend on how they want to build him. Do they want to add more muscle? Do they want to play with the liquids more, in weight cuts or whatnot? But he definitely is going to fill in pretty nice. And if he's already sparring guys that are heavy, he mentioned this already too in an interview. It's just going to be up to him how he feels in absorbing the heavier punches, like he said. And he's feeling confident. He's feeling confident. But just real quick, just going towards the Rev Ron. You know what I'm saying? What stuck out to me in that interview was, damn, that boy got mad good work. I'm talking about he's had work Kovalev, Canelo, Bivol. It's just like, wow. That was impressive to hear, and consistently. I mean, pretty much, right?
Definitely. Absolutely. That was a huge thing that stuck out in that interview. Like I said, though, all 3 interviews were great. Richardson's interview, I think we learned a lot about him, and he loosened up and talked about some fights, and he was good, man. They were all 3 were good.
Yeah, and I could totally understand, man, because when me and Ness first, when we were out in the field and going to these gyms, when we were out there in Orleano Sosa's gym over there in Brooklyn, it was just a bunch of talent in that gym, man. It was just like, and I would just look at Sosa, and I kick it with Sosa a lot. And in conversation, it's just so much work. And for those who don't know, Sosa works a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? He works for the city. I think he works for the energy department. And the amount of fighters he had in that gym is just incredible. And I can see how that can get a little difficult, as a trainer to be able to give your full concentration and time to so many. I know he has some assistant coaches there too as well that help out. Names slip my mind, but pretty good guys, pretty good mit men. And I can see how some fighters might, want to not just leave because it's not a good camp or a good environment, but because they need a more focus and attention on them. A lot of fighters tend to make transitions over to other camps because of that reason. And no hard feelings. I can see how that happens. And do we have anyone else? That was it, right? For
that was it. Yeah, but if you are listening, tomorrow is a jam-packed day, really, the whole day.
It is. We're gonna have Robert, who's actually the trainer, Jose.
With starting with the morning show, because we will be live in the morning, of course. We'll have Jamel Herring at 9:30 a.m. We'll have Lamont Roach at 10 a.m. and Alicia Bumgardner at 10:30 a.m. So those are all 3 great interviews. Then we're going to have a special evening Friday show, which is kind of rare for us, but got to get the work in. Robert Garcia, trainer of Jose Ramirez, who we just had on, amongst many, many others.
Virgil Ortiz, Mikey Garcia.
The list is goes on and on. He's trained guys like Brandon Rios. He's going to be on. And, that's going to be a tough interview. I'm probably going to ask him like the most hardcore questions I can think of, because I'm sure people are going to pick his brain about Glovegate and all that stuff. So, and then we're going to have Abner Mares at 8. So 7:30, Robert Garcia and Abner Mares at 8. It's going to be interesting to talk to him about, the fact that he was lined up to face Tank
Gervonta.
Gervonta.
No, Tank is better.
I'm sorry, Tank, Gervonta. Yeah, I was like, what the? He was lined up to face Tank, and then, that he got injured and that fight fell through, and now Leo's in his position here, and it'll be good to get, caught up with him and see what's going on.
Yo, so I had to step away. Bulldog was snoring behind me. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I figured since my mic is right here, she's got to be like, brr. And they don't like getting out. They don't like getting out. I have to get like carrots and literally dangle the carrot in front of them, bro. They don't want to.
I hear nothing.
One is Luna and the other one is Sky. They just like freaking. They rather be under my office desk, man. Under my desk.
Yo, we saved a dog. It was oh man, I can't even remember the breed. The little small ones with the brown and like Benji. What are those called? You know what I'm talking about, Benji?
Benji.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? We found one on the street, like during the summer, and we named her Chocolatita. Actually, no, we named her Chocolatito because my wife swore she took her to the vet, and the vet said that it was a boy. For 6 months, we were calling her a him and Chocolatito, and then it had its period. And we were very, very wrong. But we stuck with Chocolatito. We just call him Choco, or her Choco. And then that matches Canela, so I got those two dogs, girls named after the fighters. But
I didn't go fighters.
You were going to pick Canelo, weren't you?
I did put it as a choice and tried to get help, and I thought people would have, I thought Canelo or Canela would have been good for Luna because she's like that brown and golden color, but I actually liked Hennessy, but people was like, "Oh, that's so ghetto," and it's like, "Yo, stop hating." But Hennessy was a dope name because of her color. But anyway. I had to get out, man, but I just want to reiterate, man, I'm sorry I stepped away, and I want to just reiterate that, damn, I appreciate Jose Ramirez, man. I really meant that when I said I appreciate the prospects that come on, like the contenders, and then I love it more when those guys turn into champions and still can come back on. The fact that he's unified and was able to come back on, and honestly speaking, I didn't know he was that great of a speaker, bro. Dude was just killing it on that interview, and I want to also give out credit to Alex Lemon, dude's been a Patreon for us for forever. He's covered fights in Reno for us. He put us on. And, I give him so much shit and call him Mr. Top Rank and everything, but damn, bro, if he don't got an eye for talent. He been telling us about Jose Ramirez for years. And I'm like, bro, he's selling $10 tickets. And look, Jose's become a draw. He just signed a new deal with Top Rank, very lucrative. Gabriel Flores Jr., same thing. He been telling us about him since he was an amateur. And now Flores, is on the brink of same thing. Stardom, selling out just like Jose and doing his thing. And, I got to give him credit. Him and Lidge Lowe were the first two people to pick Andy in the first fight, bro. Like right out the bat, like, bro, he's gonna beat. And I'm just like, and they were right. So like, yo, man, a lot of people who call into the show with hella talent, man, and hella gems, man. The questions are great. They get excited. Someone said something about like MG or BG when it was Montana Love. Then, that was something that he understood, and he was like, wow, that was the beginning days. And his management company, and then someone said something today on some of the questions asked where the fighter got excited. So it was just good, man. Oh, no, can't remember. But whatever. You heard it. Hit rewind. We got callers. I'm going to open up the phone lines and get out to it, man. But, man, want to thank everybody that tuned in. Thank all our guests. Really appreciate you guys taking out the time to come on the show and just making it even better.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right. Let's go on out to Steve in Chicago. Talk to me. Ringer status. What's up, champ? How are you?
Yeah, hey, how's it going, guys? Man, I don't know where to start. You gave us so much today, not so much. I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to use my time to plug the show, man. For these guys that are going to listen to the show later on, like a week from now, it is definitely worth it, if they can, to support the show. Nobody else has given us content like you. You're giving us 3 to 4 hour shows. There's great dialogue between your hosts, dialogue between the callers. No one else gives the fans the opportunity like you to call into a podcast and furthermore ask guys like Jose Ramirez questions. Nobody else is doing that. So for guys that were upset that, you left your situation, but they have to look at what you're getting in return. Nobody's doing what you guys are doing, and you're on the cutting edge of running a podcast to me, and that's why I support you guys. You know, as long as I can, I will. And yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. You gave me too much to ask to talk about what you gave us because there was just too much there. So I just want to plug the show.
Well, thank you, brother, because definitely always appreciate it, and it feels good to understand. I mean, to know that you guys value what it is we do, man, because honestly, bro, I overslept this morning because I woke up at 3 a.m. Like, I'm always thinking of growing the show and the next interview. I mean, I emailed, like I said, Charlemagne the God, and I emailed Layla Ali, you know, just continuing to try to get us whatever big names we can, man, whatever names. But little, small, I interview them all, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You see, I had the 1-0 prospect the other day. I just scheduled Keyshawn Davis, who is 0-0. He's an Olympian that was supposed to go to Tokyo and no longer going that and looking like he turning pro. I also scheduled the 0-0 other Olympian, Troy Isley, I think it is. I got to reschedule him because he overslept. He was out training in Colorado. But let me go to Ringer. Joshua, North Carolina, what's going on? Joshua, you there? Just listening? What's going on, champ? Joshua Ellis, North Carolina. Okay, we're going to keep it moving. Boomerang, my Gene Bet, talk to me.
Mayimbe.
No, Majimbe? Hello? Majimbe not.
Hello?
What up, Joshua? What's going on, champ?
Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you.
All right, don't sound bad or nothing.
Nah, you sound all right.
Hell, I'm on Bluetooth, my nigga. I ain't know. Salute to y'all, man. Hey, I only caught that last interview. That was a good interview. It was a great interview to end. I got to make it a good one because I ain't like we said about the glove. But nah, salute the whole day. Yeah, man. This pushback from Fury Wilder, bro. I'm kind of glad it's happening. I really am for my boy Wilder because that's just a little extra more he put in the tank. I'm hoping to get up with Buddy McGirt, man. I hope he can, man. Like I just feel so confident with Buddy, man. I don't know why, bro. I don't know why. I just do. But yeah, man. I ain't doing nothing. Just kicking the shit here at work, man. On this bullshit. I'm essential to the United States. I got this paper, so we gonna lock down here in Charlotte after 8. But I can ride around because I got this paper. But ain't no use to riding around. But yeah, man, I was just listening to y'all, bro. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.
All right, Josh. Well, thanks for calling in. As always, North Carolina, stand up. We're going to go out to what's looking like alumni caller, California.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, you know it ain't no show without Info Joe in the building. Los Angeles, stand up. What up, brothers?
What
My
up,
boxing
champ?
brothers. Hey,
What up?
great interviews, man. I agree with the last caller, Josh, that I'm glad that the fight is pushed back. And I wouldn't mind seeing it at the new Raiders Stadium in Vegas. But great interviews, man, with man, that's that kush I'm smoking. I got some new shit from the shop, man. Got me stuttering. Yeah. Good interview, man. Good interview. Hey, man, special shout out to New York City. I know y'all getting hit hard. Your boy from LA is rooting for y'all. I'm praying for y'all, man. Everybody in New York City, stay safe. I just seen some news on that shit, man, and it's looking pretty grim, man. But I know New York City, y'all strong. Stand up. Y'all can get through this shit. That's all I got, people, my boxing brothers.
Joe,
Word, man. Thank you, man. East Side getting hit hard, bro.
Bro, I tell you, there ain't nothing like cookies, man. Nothing.
Galletitas.
Nothing like that. I'm telling you, bro. The taste is insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
Yo, that's one of my joints right there, boy.
You an old head, man.
Oh, you know I take it back. My playlist old school, man.
Yo, Doomy be like, follow me. Follow me. Yo, I be walking in on Doomy listening to the weirdest shit too, bro. Like, that's not weird. Like, I get that's block party music, roller skate music. But he be listening to the weirdest shit, bro. I walk in on like, what the hell? Yeah. Shit crazy, man. But let me get out to... how do you say New Orleans in Spanish? Nueva Orleans?
La Nueva Orleans.
That sound like that song. Nueva Orleans is probably.
You're wilding because I think he means dale más gasolina.
Yeah, but it sound like it though. the way it sounds.
You wilding.
I forgot the words. So I was like, what?
Yo, he just made up his words and hummed the tune like New Orleans.
If it sounds like it means
Yo, that was funny. Let me go out to the 504.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'm killing this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
What up?
Yeah, y'all was kind of laughing hard about New Orleans, but ain't no place like it. I missed the interview with Ramirez, Ness, because I mean, I know you cut us off, stuff like that. I caught the Hitchens interview with that dude. I think I said the name right. And the Ryan Ellis one, yeah, that dude got some long arms. I checked him out when you was talking about that boy Ronald Ellis. Yeah, he got some long ass arms and shit. But
what was his reach?
I don't know. No, I watched his boxing match.
Oh,
yeah, but he got some long arms though. Like even when he out of range, he still hit you with a jab. He long, got some long arms. Gotta check it out though. Probably gotta look at one of his fights to see his reach. But good interview like always. I'm pretty sure that was a good interview that I missed. And besides that, the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. You know what, man? Everything pushed back. I guess it give Wilder more time to have a better, successful training camp. You know, come back with a better game plan this time. The Ricky Hatton versus Marquez. Marquez will destroy Ricky Hatton in like maybe 3 rounds, if that. And you saying something about the Andrade and Charlo fighting on PBC or some shit?
Nah, man. Andrade came out on social media and said ain't gonna happen because Future Boxing, who is Big Charlo, and Ronnie Shields know Jamal Charlo can't beat me. Report that. So he's saying that the fight ain't gonna happen because they know that he can't beat him. That's why they ducking the fight.
I don't know. I don't think Charlo ducking that fight. If I really had to think who's in the way of that, it'd probably be the promoter and the trainer. That's a good fight for Charlo. Man, I don't know who win that fight, to be honest with you. Because Charlo will catch him. I can see Andrade outboxing Charlo, but I can see Andrade getting caught too as well. So it's a 50-50 fight. Fuck, I just want to see some good fights, man. I'm tired of all this talking and bullshit. They just need to fight each other. You know, like Canelo, all of them. They just need to fight each other. That's all I got, though. You know.
All right,
For
JT,
sure, man.
thanks for calling in. Let me go out to. I'm gonna skip over my gym, but I know he was a little busy. We're gonna go to Stone Bone. What up?
What up?
How are you, brother? How are you?
Oh man, blessed and highly favored, man. And yeah, man, cookies. That's a very proper. It's a OG. It's a staple now. You got to try this blue cookies that we got going out here. It's big in the Bay, big in Colorado. It's blue cookies. It's blue cheese and Girl Scout cookie.
Yo,
It's
I just tried the sherbet cookies, bruh. But I just like cookie is just
yeah, but have you ever had blue cheese?
no.
You
No.
gotta
I
try.
think actually we had it once in Vegas.
You gotta eat the original, the real blue cheese and the original cookie. It's a great blend. But yeah, man, great interview with Jose, man. I like the knowledge he talked with, man, and a lot of people when I talk to people, I see a lot of similarities going on out there with Robert, and the same thing going on with Bomac. I see guys creating a culture and creating a staple where they're able to bring in guys and get them better. Like he know that Hooker gonna be a different dude with the work he getting, the knowledge that the coaches is bringing, and that's why he had to leave Freddie to get to someone like that type of environment that Crawford them got, that they got the Garcia gym. Just you know what I mean, where you can really not just sharpen up boxing technique, but you can sharpen your mind, you can sharpen your ability, you can get pushed by other elite guys that can get you on a championship level. So them gonna be the two top boxing gyms over the next few years. You know what I mean? They're finna be reigning that champion. So, and you already know why everybody is just sitting around acting like Earl and Bud ain't a big fight. We still got Derrick James talking about Bud need to do this, and all these people talking about it ain't a big fight. Just certain PBC guys. Everybody in real boxing know that's pretty much the next biggest American fight besides the trilogy from Wilder Fury. So Earl and that's the big fight. So if they keep slacking and waiting, they gonna fuck around and let Bud be in a big fight with the former unified division guy and the Mexican superstar and the black superstar going at it, and they gonna fight in Earl City and sell out his stadium, and they sitting around waiting. They need to quit dragging their feet and get in that fight with Bud before Jose come up there and get knocked out and get his $10 million check. So everybody stay focused, man. That was a good interview. I like the energy. I like the knowledge. And I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow.
Stone Bone. Thank you, brother. My Gene Bear, holla at me.
Let's come back to me. Sorry.
Trey, talk to us. Trey in the Bay, to be exact. All right, just listening then. I mean, well, that wraps it up because Blog Talk's down and the chosen ones are the Patreons. So I'm your host, NSGTO. Catch us tomorrow for another big show just like today. About 6 guests scheduled for mañana. Peace.
Go ahead, do me.
Do me. You're muted. What's up,
You're out. Okay. At Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram, and chop it up. Come follow me, follow back. And thanking our Patreons and everything, of course, every day. But man, honestly, real talk, thank you to Ness, thank you to Alex, man, for this show and the last show. It's a lot of hours we put in today, and there's gonna be a lot of hours tomorrow. But at the end of the day, this helps me just as much as I think it helps y'all and the people listening and stuff. So I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. I hope I return the favor. Peace.
Definitely, Chance. My bad. My mouse is giving me a little trouble, but
I have to report that. No, that's not for you. It's for me, actually. I'm reporting that we went from 340 to 337. So 3 people were not satisfied with their Patreon subscription and, I guess, rewards or privileges. We do hope that you give us another try later. Hopefully those were other reasons, not TBV. But we're at 337, and we're trying to get to that 500 first goal. So tell a friend, man. We're going to continue to bring you the best level of content that we can and the highest level of guests that we can. We should be having Keith Thurman as well. And Bertho. I just got to give Bertho a new date now that I know that he's freaking... Yo, I'm telling you, we really got to we need to because I hate being so all over the place, so we really just need to turn another day into an evening show day. Mandatory. Yeah. So it's easier for scheduling, because I got people booked for the whole April, and there's so many people that want evening days, and it's, I hate evening. I swear. I wish they would be available like at a 3 or a 5 o'clock show, but that's not good for them because 5 is
3 o'clock in Cali.
No, the hour went back, so it's 1 over there. No, it's 4-hour difference, or is it 3-hour difference?
3.
3. So yeah, so it's 5 for them is 1. So I don't know. I mean 2, whatever. But
3.
I don't know. What? How could 5 be 3 if it's 2?
No, I thought you said 1. 1 is 3.
But anyway, man, that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Peace.
Peace.
Ladies.
Peace, y'all, man. We're going to keep.